Hey, Anthony, can you tell Gino he's an asshole?
See, as the crow flies, it's probably not very far to where you are from where we are. But there's so much in between. A lot of alcohol, holes, a body of water, congestion pricing, you know, those people. There's a lot going on, and I'm just going to call. I was calling to tell you that Gina will not be able to make it.
Oh my God. He had you call?
Yeah.
Why didn't you have Gavin call?
Yeah, why'd you have Gavin call and tell us the bad news?
Okay, that's very funny. By the way, so you want me to drive an hour and a half to try and say something that will never be as funny as that tonight? You want me to face?
Yes, drunk.
Wow, I should have had Gavin call. That smears everybody.
Hey, everybody. Happy fucking Friday. Loads Friday. Isn't it? It was fun opening with that. It's good to be here on, what is it? Oh, my 9th hour of broadcasting this week. I don't know if you've been, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I look at that and it's like, I know you're just busting balls, but you know me. You know me. I was having cigars today. Happy fucking Friday. I cannot tell you how nice it was to just take the day off. It really was. And I will say, no one had Anthony call for me. In fact, I was having drinks with my friend Anthony, which I know a lot of people think is not my friend, especially even some people in here. I don't know. But it was so nice to be sitting there. I'm like, I got to call Garrett and Steve. There's no way I'm going in. Let's just hang. And he's like, I'll call him. And Anthony, who is a master, much like myself, like everyone born, prior to 1975, I'll even say, of all this techno shit. He's like, I'm gonna FaceTime him on Apple, and I don't know what goes on Apple, people. I don't, but he could not figure out how to do it. It's like, fuck it, I'll just call him. So again, he insisted on calling, and I think what we were watching here, and I think we'll all agree, because I've said this countless times. There's, although this is quickly becoming just a, I don't want to say my favorite, because Monday through Wednesday with the booth with Sound Broad Kiki in the streets is so much fun. And this with Max Loads is so much fun. And the Garrett and Steve thing, it's a lot of fun too. But I'm telling you, you're not going to get better entertainment than Garrett and Steve at Shea, as I call it, Edie. You're not going to get better content than Garrett and Steve at Shea Edie talking to Gino and Anthony at a little place called Sullivan's. Sullivan's a place where I'm sure many of you, thank you, Masturbator, thank you. I'm sure many of you, when I say Sullivan's, and this is the part I'm going to enjoy. I'm sure many of you, Joey Dago, I'm sure many of you, Bob Fan of Patrice, I'm sure many of you, I wish gay bitches, but I'll give gay bitches a clang, because I'm telling you, it's becoming a rare animal. The clanger. We're losing them left and right. And I got to tell you, people, the best shows are the ones we enjoy, and that's why the shows have been so good. But if you're saying, Gino, Anthony's in town at Sullivan's, he reached out, he's like, hey, I'm sitting on the couch yesterday afternoon with the wife. We're watching wonderful TV. What were we watching yesterday? Oh, the White Lotus. She was watching the final episode of The White Lotus, which I can't get into. I can't. And I get a text from Ant, and it's just a picture of Empty Sullivan saying, it's so quiet without a certain loudmouth here. And I texted him back, do not threaten me. I will be there in 30 minutes. And he texted back, Beavis. And anyone that knows, and allow me to get nostalgic, anyone that's lived in real life and not the world that I tried to stop, we all did. I'm sorry that you people that used to come to a little show called In Hot Water. I'm sorry. It breaks my heart that what is going on now on YouTube has become normalized. And I'm sorry if you don't realize it'll never be normal to me. I'm sorry if you don't get the good guy that just wants to do what he's always done, hang out in real life with real people that he's really known and really respected for a long time. And that includes a lot of you guys. It really does. That Sullivan's place is a place I took many fucking people for drinks. Often Steve, occasionally Garrett. Kidding, Garrett always had to do Anthony's show. And it's become normalized to be like, oh, get your ass over. You do understand, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to regret saying this. I mean, I'm not, but you're going to make me regret it. That you take Daddy for granted. Daddy is the one that did all he could to keep the band together. Daddy is the one that said, Drew, I'll help you set up the equipment at your place. You recall that? Daddy's the one that's like, yeah. And then every week we'll do a show, and I even made a logo that looked like that. Well, I didn't make one. Shout out to the In Hot Water guy, our guy, Matt Miller, who made the Stay Tuned logo, because I wanted to do a show there once a week with the equipment. That fucking, and oh, were me and Anthony laughing about that. The equipment that Anthony said, take it. Said, take it. Like the old Saturday Night Live skit with Eddie Murphy when he was playing a white guy and he went for a loan, and fucking when the black guy left, he puts all the money on the desk. He goes, take it. Take it. That's what Anthony did. Anthony's like, take it. And I helped him set it all up there. Well, I just did as I was told. I can't even set this shit up. Like we even have to have, who was it that fat fucking loser failed comedian said did all the voiceover when you were doing.
He said, they're not smart enough. Must have been so thorough Joe Burrow to add this.
Yeah. And by the way, I have no problem with so thorough Joe Burrow, because it seems like I'm starting to cotton. God damn it, I got a chapped lip. I'm even starting to cotton to fucking misery clips, because all the clips come up. Maybe it's because I'm in a better place and I'm over it. I enjoy them because they always seem to vindicate the guy I enjoy being. So that said, Anthony was the one that's like, yeah, take it. And I wanted to do a show every week. And once we started doing a weekly show, I would bring people to that place through the kindness of their fucking hearts. Fucking Fred Rubino, Carl, Jake and Louie, they would show up there and we would do a show like I was raised watching, like I'm still holding on to. And once that went away, because Drew suddenly, before that happened, I would say, Garrett and Steve, come with. And then I would go over, Garrett and Steve would go over, I'd buy everyone fucking pizza and fucking whiskey. Sometimes fans would send whiskey. We appreciate that. And then I'd usually hang out because I'm a good guy, while fucking, half of the fucking people that fucking like Garrett and Steve don't like me. And that's fine. Maybe I'm being butthurt. I don't know. But we would do the show until Drew kept making excuses to not do it. And then suddenly, as me and Anthony were laughing about, just missed, as Anthony and I were giggling about, like, Drew's literally like, when he had to say to Drew on the aforementioned Garrett and Steve show that we will get back to, he was like, no, Drew, why don't you take, he's like, well, I can, I need the cameras this weekend. And who can forget that classic episode of Garrett and Steve with Anthony, when Anthony was on his phone going, Drew, why don't you take the money using all of my cameras, buy yourself a camera, and get a new camera? But that finally evolved, or should I say devolved, went away. And then and you can say what you want, you could be like, Gino's being a dick or a cunt or butthurt. I was the one that reached out to Nick Giordano, who's a huge fan of me and Garrett and Steve in no particular order, because he loved In Hot Water. Which, again, In Hot Water, where when Aaron left, I said Garrett and Steve, and I would spin off them. But E-Rock, who, I'm sorry, E-Rock, who did what he did best, took credit for that. When really, I was the one who fucking really, don't get me wrong, Garrett and Steve are the ones who are so fucking talented to begin with. I was the one that saw how obvious it was. I was the one that fucking used them on every In Hot Water. I was the one that said to E-Rock, can we have a show doing football stuff? Because I was talking with Garrett and Steve about it, and they're dumb enough to hang out with me. So we did that. And then I was the one that said to Nick, why don't you let us, and he said, use my bar all the time? I said, yeah, that's a great idea. And then what we did was, missed it again. And then what it evolved to was me meeting Garrett and Steve in a nice centralized area, although total props to Steve, which I'm leading into, because Steve had the longest trek and had the most to leave. His wife, his perfect son Tyrone, who now says Gino is gay at the drop of a hat, and I love it. And we congregated there, and was amazing till the bar shut down. And then, because I love keeping the realism of a foregone time, because now people sit in boxes and watch shit, and that's fine. Garrett and Steve are so great because me and Anthony are watching like, this is great, because it's two guys hanging out together in Italian insieme, together in real life. Okay, so that's why their show is so great. Well, God forgive me. That's why their show is so great. When you take two guys that are just fucking great at fucking doing whatever they do, which is just talking and fucking cracking each other up, which is all In Hot Water ever aspired to be. Me, Aaron, Steve, Garrett, just trying to make the other three guys laugh. That's what it was. But after a while, it becomes a lot to drive there every fucking week. And I love it. As I said, I was talking to Joey Dago, and I said, he's like, the drive's got to suck. I'm like, drive, I don't even mind it. I'm listening to Garrett and Steve on the drive in. I'm fucking talking to Garrett on the way back, just solving the world's problems, telling him I don't know why there's no heat. Just great stuff. That I don't mind. Paying congestion pricing, bullshitting about that sucks. But again, for the point is, it's like when I'm living my life and my friend Anthony comes into town and he's at a bar and he's like, you want to grab a drink? Like old times? Yeah. And then I'm sitting there saying, I've given you guys 8 hours. 8 hours rolling into fucking Thursday. And is there anything better than me, Garrett, and Steve at the same desk fucking around? Arguably, no. I would argue there is not. But I think everyone would agree that if I'm getting to hang out with Anthony, I don't get to see a lot. I don't. It's obviously going to be that I choose. And it's not like I'm going to be like, well, let me try and get out. No, you guys will live another week. And I've said this countless times. We give you 3-hour shows on the football show. Jesus Christ. Let's go over the last 3 football shows, which, they go way back. Excuse me. In Hot Water Hockey Show, 3 hours, 19 minutes. In Hot Water Hockey Show, 3 hours, 22 minutes. In Hot Water Hockey Show. Hold on. I got to go to the next page. In Hot Water Hockey Show, 3 hours, 28 minutes. So basically averaging in Hot Water Hockey Show, 3 hours. So we're averaging 3 hours and 20 minutes a show. I mean, let me say 2 words, and I love you guys. Let me say 2 words to you folks you've never given me the chance to say. You're fucking welcome. I mean it. And again, I know you're not bitching. I know you're not. Maybe I'm bitching. Maybe you guys aren't bitching and I am. But Daddy's got, after a while, Daddy's got to say, hey, I can only give so much. Okay? And I'm sure you don't begrudge me that. I'm sure you don't. And am I right now juggling, dancing plates, keep asking my wife stuff while we wait for Peter to get here? Yes. If you haven't figured it out yet, my career is built on being lazy and talking to other people. And I love talking to other people. And I'm better at talking to other people in person. Why does it work when I talk to Max Loads in a box? Because I've been talking to him for years. And by the way, let me tell you something about that bullshit White Lotus show. Keanu, what did that brother do to his other brother on White Lotus? He jerked him off. Now, why are we not suing the White Lotus? Because before the White Lotus came up with this idea, and I wish Peter was here for this, I hope he's listening, I was making white with Peter in the Lotus position. Is that bad? Is that good? And I'll say this, wait, let's watch a little more, Steve, then I'll get to the super, watch, and this hurt my feelings. Hold on, I'm butthurt. Hold on, let me listen a little more. And these guys, look at these two. This is the point where they said, why didn't you have Gavin call? And I said, you want me to waste an hour and a half driving? And I was rounding down. It's probably 2 hours each, 2 hours total. Like, you want me to waste 90-minute driving trying to top that line? Look at, if you don't get Garrett and Steve, look at where I froze it. Not like it's a coincidence. They're laughing this hard all the time. I fucking love these 2 idiots. Is Loads is in here?
I just got here. I told you 4 o'clock, and I'd have been 10 minutes early.
Yeah,
Can you hear
but
me?
how did you get in? Shouldn't you be in the waiting room?
Age.
What'd you say? I said, I'm mad too that they stole my idea about jerking off their brother. I'm mad too.
No, I didn't say that. That's for sure.
Did you, by the way, and then we'll get back to Garrett and Steve. Did you hear? There's the backdrop. Did you hear what I just said? Have you heard of this show? Maybe you and Max.
Wait a minute. Shut up a minute. White Lotus? Is that the show? Is that I've heard of it because what's her name's on it? Dario.
Hold on, Peter. What's her name's on it? Who would your brother-in-law like that's on it, Keanu? Sweeney? Is the Sweeney broad on it?
He's on the Dario girl.
Who?
Dario, is that her name? I don't know.
Oh, Dario. She was probably, they do every season's a new cast.
The one
with the big tits, right?
The one who was on the detective show that was on HBO when it was
True
good.
Detective. She was also in Baywatch. Dario, yeah, she wasn't in this season, right? She wasn't.
Okay.
But yes.
So go ahead. So what you're saying is true because Chris just started watching, and I'm like,
look, I'm gonna say it. Oh, see now, look how much lighter the world gets. The white. Oh my God, Concrete Petey wins. You know what he flipped, baby? The White LOADZZZ. By the way, Concrete Petey is the one that does all the fantastic fucking banners and stuff. This one, watch this, and now there's a ladder. Poof, it's gone.
Sure.
Now it's back.
Hey,
he did that.
Can you hear me? Okay?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Go on, Loads. I'm sorry, big brother. What?
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you quite well.
I got a mic. And I'm using the camera.
Oh, really? That's right.
Yeah.
You went to Max Loads getting the fucking equipment. Went with the lav mic, right?
It's if it's working, it seems to be.
You sound great.
Yeah,
Gabe thinks you look amazing.
There you go. We just dropped the dogs off at the kennel, and naturally, because the weather's so lovely here, it's a
beautiful day.
Ride turns a 20-minute ride into an hour ride. Ridiculousness.
Now, what I'm saying,
I don't know that I'm a cans man, Gene. Maybe I don't think so. I don't think so. I can say that I am. Mongo, big time cans man.
Cans or cannot. I gotta tell you, and you know what I'm realizing, Pete? Like before this, I went to the cigar place I go to all the time, and there's this guy I told you about. His name's Ricardo, and like one time it's like I was in the joint. For like 20 some years, whatever. You know who he reminds me of, Pete, that I'm realizing? Uncle Nick. He reminds me of our Uncle Nick. And I just sit and bullshit with him. And you can tell he likes me because he's like, what are you doing? I'm going to fucking say it again? Get the shit out of your ears. And I just sit there. You know what I mean? I look at him, Pete, I just look at him like, huh.
Well, Uncle Nick worked at a prison, you do recall.
I forgot that.
Because
hold on. I just hit my coffee. I just spilled, not dumped it, but spilled. Talk to them for 1 sec. Tell them about Uncle Nick.
He sent me like sweatshirts and stuff from the prison, like prison issue, and a ton of ramen and stuff from when he worked I don't know, the commissary. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was when I was in college. And by the way, I just want to shout out Matty Retro. I shared one of those in hot water cigars with my buddy when we were golfing. And he said, this is a really good cigar. I said, I wouldn't steer you wrong. It's in hot water cigars are good, which you can get from Peroni's Hidden Treasures, Mercer County, New Jersey. But he did.
Damn it, slow down. No, there you go, Pete. Pete, I couldn't agree more. Like I was saying, like the first batch, not like I say to you when we're talking about the first batch, because the first batch is usually the best one with you. But the first batch, I don't know if they just got old real fast, but the last 2 batches of cigars I've gotten from them, just fucking insane. Like they have their own fucking roller, he said. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is fucking so good again.
It's good. It's a nice.
And by the way, I got to check the fucking clanger cards. 6 months is coming up. 6 months. If you've been a member 6 months, you know what you get? We head down to Peroni's. We got to have a show coming up. Obviously not today, but when you get back from Dirty Myrtle. And I'll bring some Jameson flasks down, like,
So
you
you
know,
can-
the flat size Jameson. We'll get them engraved with the names. Watch us.
And
I'll
then
go
they'll
to
throw them in the garbage?
and then yeah, yeah, but they might, because they won't. They're not stupid like me. But watch this. Let me check right now. Let me
Yeah,
go to
I
my
got-
audience on the Patreon. Let's go to current tier.
See, now I got people. See, I'm looking directly at the camera. I'm not looking at the chat, but I happen to know guys with peripheral vision. And somebody said, "Loads, read the chat." But I know, Gene, you don't want me peeking at the chat, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to
don't,
do the
Peter.
right thing.
But let me say this. You ready? Aaron, you ready for this? Coming up on 6 months, Aaron, Aaron, who's, you know, Aaron, our boy Robert Leak, and Smartass. They are all coming up in April. Excuse me, it is April. In June, and fuck it, just to make it easy. Stan Turner and This Gigger Nets It. Fucking, they're all coming up on 6 months, and they will be. That's what I got to bring 6 of the Jameson flasks to our boy, or just Venmo him the money. I'm in great, and then we'll ship them out to these guys, which I'm so fucking excited about. That's what you get for, because again, I know we stole the whole metal fucking name engraved on metal from Garrett and Steve because they're brilliant, but I like to throw a little something. So thanks to our dear friends at Peroni's, I will be sending engraved bottles out to use.
Right.
people,
See, I think
which
that's
cannot
saying it
wait.
correctly. Engraved bottles. Even though they're
Bottles.
flask-shaped bottles, they're not flasks. They're bottles, Jameson bottles, but they're like the whatever 7.5 ounce bottles or whatever.
Indeed.
And-
By the way, I'm behind in the. But we got it.
And I think there is that Alexandria Daddario. There is no problem with any part of her, which, you know, because somebody said the
By the
eye.
way, oh, go, big brother. I'm sorry.
No, I got nothing. You know.
They're all in here. They better.
By the
Okay,
way-
Tosca says that's how Daddy do. Thank you for the $1. Jesus Christ, I love man asses. We all have our cross to bear. Mine is masturbation and kindness. Yours is alcoholism and cranking your brother to creamy butter. True, painfully true.
Oh my God.
We already
so
said
false.
that's how Daddy do. Did I miss another one? We all have our cross to bear. Bob Van Patrice. Nobody is butthurt. How was Ant? Peter, Ant, I said this to him 3 times, Loads. Ant looked great. He really did. And I was, and we were catching up. And by the way, Pete, you get it, right? Like, Daddy bends over backwards to fucking bring live content all the time. I would even go so far as to say I'm such a big fan, obviously, of you. Obviously, of our boys, Maddie over at Peroni's, his fucking hot fucking girl. Like, Peter, don't I drive down there? Don't I drive all over to fucking try and keep the world fucking as simple as it once was, Pete? Don't I?
Yeah.
So when I'm hanging out with Anthony at a bar, and I know it's been 2 weeks since we did the show, and I love that they miss it, and I say, look, I'm hanging out with Ant. You get, Pete, like, you would tell me if I was being an irresponsible drunk, which I am apt to be sometimes.
Is that
But
why
we
the
didn't
show?
even get that hammered, right?
Is that why the show wasn't on last night?
Last night, you got here late. You were entertaining Maxine. And by the way, let me get to this. Let me do these right now so we don't miss it. Gobble gobble. I'm welcome for you doing Garrett and Steve doing a show. I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm welcome for you doing Garrett and Steve doing a show. I'm sure he had a lot to do with it. I will put on a helmet. Loads, Gino, play your show on Roku behind you. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. All right, Pete, you got to put something on.
I got to go to the garage and get the helmet. It's cold out there today, so I'm in the upper room.
What do you got in the upper room? Watch this. What do you got in the upper room to acknowledge gobble gobble?
There's nothing up here. It's just a room. It's an empty room. All right, I'll see if there's anything
What's that?
in the class. But I don't have to go.
He'll be right back because we've got to.
Yeah, there's nothing in here.
People, Creep Boot, happy Passover, Cousine. While he's doing that, I will be certain to. Oh my God, he just sent another 20. Hope you all have helmets. Also, Gino is gay. I'll make it. Look at this. I will do this.
I'm getting a hockey helmet.
There you go. How's that? I will wear this for the duration of the gobble gobble. And while we're doing that, watch this. I will fucking thank you so much, gobble gobble, killing it. While we're doing that, I will share this tab instead. And let's watch a little more of this while we wait for Pedro.
No, that's what I should have said. That was an atom bomb. It's very funny. Drop all remaining ordnance on my pawns. Those two are very funny, which is why E-Rock discovered them after I had them be the second mic on In Hot Water.
Oh my God.
Oh, here's
You're
a-
in deep with Zeno right now.
Yeah.
He's already in.
Now, I got to fucking say, like, why does he have to? I'm sorry that I am always going to defend what I've done and the people I love. That's why I don't fit into the Dabbleverse, because the Dabbleverse world is we experienced it yesterday. Am I allowed to talk? Pete's not back yet? Good. We experienced it yesterday with fucking me having to call in because fucking, I'll say it again. If you don't understand how much me and Anthony and Garrett and Steve enjoy each other, look at this call. It's fucking gold. And look at that beautiful Jameson bottle. Go on, there you go.
Yeah.
They're also very funny, which means they don't need you tonight. Please. I was talking to someone today, Joey Daggett. He's like, He's like, what would get me is the ride each way. I'm like, no, the ride each. I said, the ride each way. I'm either listening to the show or talking to Garrett. I'm like, that's my favorite part. Once I'm dead air for 3 drunk hours. You don't want to drive, right? I can't. And now,
I mean, this is Peter. Am I wrong? This is as entertaining as anything.
Yeah.
Garrett and Steve are so fucking good. Those dicks. I just realized. You know what they titled the show, Pete? No
What?
hot show tonight. Fuck those two. You know what they think they are, Pete? CAT smart.
So
Hold on, let's watch a little more, and then we'll. I want to get to another.
Yeah.
you might get in trouble. See, it's responsible. You're not doing shots with Anthony. Gino is being. Yeah, hold on. Here, let's not do another one. Let me not tell my cardiologist I'm hanging out with Gino Visconti.
Is he making you do alcohol shots again?
I love Steve.
Yes, he's making me. Gun to his head.
gun to
Gino!
Come on, buddy.
Holy smoke. We'll give him an extra long one next week if your wife puts up with us, Steve. I promise.
We haven't done one in 3 weeks. I don't think people even
Yeah.
think this is a show anymore.
Ooh. First of all, it's either Garrett's uncle's fault or why didn't we do it 2 weeks? See, now Gino
Yeah.
doesn't even show up because Kumi is there. Kumi told Gino he can't do it, I'm sure. But just in my defense, 2 weeks ago was because of Steve. Last week, Garrett. This week, me, and then we're back.
It was me? Wait, which
Now, by the way, I did misspeak, and we'll get to that in a sec. And the reason I'm like, oh, it was Steve. I don't even know why I said that because I remembered it's like I had a show, and then I wanted I was gonna drop Keanu off, because like I thought it'd be fun to have her fill in because Garrett and Steve enjoy her company even more than mine. Why wouldn't you? She's funnier. But then for some reason, I just remember I didn't want to bother Steve or whatever. But watch this. Let's go on a little more because this is hilarious.
was mine?
Terrible.
I don't know
Sounds
what
like
this
2
a
weeks ago was you again,
2 weeks
Gino.
ago was Gino.
Wait, no, there was no Steve. It was Gino.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
yeah, that's right. You're not going to believe this. 3 weeks ago, I forget I had a comedy show. Well, everyone.
Now, did I not own that mistake and do a little self-deprecating comedy? Here we go.
yeah.
They wanted to.
Sorry, Garrett, cut it out. It wasn't. Come on. Jesus Christ. We're at Sullivan's. We're hanging out.
Nice.
I can't wait to walk out on this tab.
You deserve one walkout.
We tried to do it the last time we were there with Anthony,
Yeah.
and they fucking caught us.
Anyway, so am I wrong to say that I have done all I can, I like to believe, to keep the world fucking, to only do shows where fuck you, Jesse James. I love him. I was using it to illustrate a point. I was.
Yeah, no, I think I seem to think because of my age anyway, I won't speak for you. I only want to watch things live. Like I don't
Peter,
really.
technically this is live, but so be more specific. I only want to watch live shows. I enjoy. How much fun is it? And I know and I'm sure it translates. How much fun is it when me and you fucking meet over at Peroni's House of Hidden Treasures? They'll be
That's
sending out
fun. That's
engraved
what I'm saying.
Jameson Blast. How much fun is it when we hang out there with all of them and act like idiots in real life?
It's fun. That's what I mean. I'm just saying. Like I know people who they'll tape the baseball game and then watch it later. I don't want to do that. Like I don't like doing that.
But Right, because I said this, we're born before, I'll say 75, maybe even 80 is the cutoff. I'll be generous, and say 75. But it's like the normal world of what fucking YouTube is. It's sad, but it's not their fault in a way because of just how the world has evolved. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Nobody. Right. Like if you missed a show, you missed it until the summer rerun came out. Where
well,
when
that was
the
called,
rerun-
Peter. What was that called, Peter?
missing a show. I just thought it was called missing a show. I didn't know.
I love my big brother.
I didn't know we had to have
It
a
was
fucking term
indeed.
for everything.
It was called missing a show, but no, you'll know this word when I say it because I was introduced to this word when I was in. I can tell you the year 2008 because I was taping Love Taxi, and Chris Stout, my producer, said, "Gino, appointment TV is dead."
Oh,
That's
okay,
what
yeah,
we're
appointment,
talking about.
yeah, right. Like if you missed Cheers, you missed it, or
Yeah.
Seinfeld or whatever, and that doesn't seem like that long ago to me. But Seinfeld, I guess, was over 30 years ago now, right? It ended in what? The late 90s.
Oh Jesus! By the
Did
way,
Did
right?
Seinfeld end in 96?
Seinfeld ended, I think, God, 97, I want to say. By the way, I was, hold on, look at this. It's Gobble Gobble killing it. Gino, check your text. Play the video I just sent you. I will bring that up and get right to it. Thank you, Jeff Hillman. It was indeed 97.
Right, so 97. So that's over 20 years ago. But
Right.
if you missed it, and you had to like wait for the rerun unless you taped it. Like there was all TiVo and all that going on. So I think that might have been when it started, the ending of appointment TV, when you just TiVo'd everything and then watched it when you wanted. Like when I was going to grad school, we used the VHS, and I taped oh my God, it was a cop show. NYPD Blue.
Oh, by the way, Leonardo Joni, who I'm sorry, I love her comedy, but she like how, and the Dabbleverse will get this, like when Melanie Mack says I hate gays, I'm like, I don't respect you because I don't even think you hate gays. I think you love people that hate gays and you can monetize it. But when Leonardo Joni says shit about religion, she means it. But she had a joke. She goes, she's like, woke has been in TV forever. She's like, you just didn't realize it. Remember that show back in the 90s called Cops? Yeah, they wanted to call it Blacks.
I'm not.
Peter, here's the thing about her.
I
think
get it.
She means it. She means it. She met she was Keanu and Chris. She was on Chrissy's show once, and Keanu was too, and I stuck my head in, and she said, you two, and Keanu's like, I don't want to have kids. She's like, no, you two, what did she say? You two need to have a lot of white babies and repopulate the race. And I was like, she's so funny. And now I'm like, oh no, she meant it. She meant it. But it's still a compliment, but it's just a compliment of her. She's like, you guys are really white. You really need.
Did
Tosca said it. Melanie Mack's been lying since she's doing the born again Christian thing. I got to find that thing from our boy fucking
did
from our boy
Keanu change
Gobble
her
Gobble.
name?
What's that, Pete?
Did Keanu change her name when you guys got married?
Yeah.
I don't think you didn't legally change your name. So your name is Keanu Bisconti.
That's what's on the marriage license.
Yeah, but I don't think it. So if she puts,
Yeah, you haven't gone and changed
Oh
that.
my God.
yeah, she signed Keanu Bisconti on the marriage license, but she
I
didn't
just think-
officially change her name because I think she's trying to get out of it. She's like, who's this Keanu? Who's
Right.
this Keanu? Marry your sister?
And and you got married in October, and amazingly, she was still able to vote in November, even though she changed her name.
There
Because
you go.
that's a big thing now. Oh, married women aren't going to be able to vote. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Oh, Peter, they're
If
taking all
they
of our
said
rights,
anything
Peter.
more
If you're not a
stupid than
straight
that-
white male, Peter, you have no rights in this country. You know
No,
that.
but they're saying because they passed the SAVE Act in the House, and you have to show ID to vote, and they're saying, well, married women aren't going to be able to show ID. I'm like, are you kidding me? My wife's been married for 30. We married 30 years. She's voted every election. You got to be kidding me. And they're gonna,
Said I saw that. Yeah.
What's that?
That's what
Oh, Peter, I'm sorry. Is that what Hillary Clinton is saying?
That's what people who don't want to vote for the SAVE Act on the Democratic side are saying. They're saying married women and transgendered people won't be able to vote because they won't be able to get ID that matches their new name, which for married women, that's a flat out lie because they've been doing it for thousands. It's not going to change anything. Here's why it won't change. Because there are some states right now in this country where you need photo ID to vote, and married women are voting in those states. So that's off the table already. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But they're saying transgender people won't be able to get a photo ID or whatever because they won't have a birth certificate that now matches their current, mental illness.
It's just like they try so hard to prove the dumbest points, and this Crockett bitch is insane. She's insane. All right,
No,
so
I know, but I mean, those are the constituents now of the Democratic Party: transgendered people and married women who believe they won't be able to vote.
what?
I mean, I said that's who their constituency is now: the transgender community and married women who don't believe they'll be able to vote. Like, I don't understand who could possibly vote for these morons.
Yeah, but they're just so they're just out of touch. Like I've got to stop saying I'm an idiot because the world is filled by fucking idiots. You know what I mean? It's just absolute. There's new levels of idiocy that they don't understand. Like you sound so dumb when you're saying this. By the way, this just in. Thank you, gobble gobble. Having a day. Loads can take the helmet off. He looks like a tomato. Oh, there you go.
Somebody put that in there. Yeah, I saw that.
It's like he saw it. Now, what was I going to say? All right, so he said,
"Is my lighting bad? Is that why I look like a tomato? Do I got to fix it?"
Yeah, you do look. Hold on, let's zoom in. You do look red. You look red there.
Is that better? Now it's just dark, isn't it?
Wait, do it the other way. He vanished. Well, I prefer.
That's less red.
You do look red. What is the light that's on you?
It's a light from up top. I don't, that's the next step is proper lighting.
Yeah, but we don't mind. All
right. But I don't care how I look.
All right, so this is what our boy JJ sent us. He sent us this. Share this tab instead. Is it up? No. Boom. Get this guy eating this stuff on and have him and Third Eye have an eat off. This could be interesting. Possum flavored candy. Anyone? Let's take a look.
Oh,
and remember, we broke it. But like you could, but no one's eating. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Heck, we've all done it. There ain't no shame in it. We've all walked out of the house before and forgot to brush our teeth with our breath smelling like a whole dang turd. Knowing that we got to go talk to somebody with it smelling like that, and we just need a little piece of candy to freshen up our breath. So look here, I ain't never tried this before, and I ain't gonna try it by my dang self. So look here, I done found us some possum flavored candy canes. So look here.
I didn't even realize it was a candy cane.
This is the foul thing.
I don't know what it's gonna taste like, but we finna taste it together. It don't smell bad right yet.
Oh my god.
All right. So
I ain't even tasting.
Here's my concern. Gobble gobble. Before we go any further, like he didn't show the box. Is this guy just really good at throwing up, and he thinks possum is gross? All right, let's keep going.
Gee, who the hell would eat possum flavored anything?
This guy.
I don't.
Look, he's just gonna make him. He's trying to throw up.
I ain't even tasted it yet. I just got a whiff of it. Oh.
What? Yeah.
It's okay. It's gonna make our breath taste better.
Yeah, I'm having my doubts as whether this is a real or not.
I know what the problem was. Situations like this, you can't really gauge what it tastes like with little bites. You just gotta, bigger bites is what you gotta have.
He's gonna take a bite and puke. This is fake. But there's nothing funnier than watching a fat ginger puke, right?
Oh
I can get. Oh my God, I can get candy. Joey Dago said he had a question for me. I'm very
10
curious.
out of 10. Y'all go get you some. Y'all have a
No.
good day.
All right, hold on. Watch this. I'll do it right here. Possum flavored candy cane. All right.
There you go.
Oh my God, it's a thing. All right, I apologize, and that's what the box looked like. Archie McPhee. All right, I will be ordering. Tell you what.
No.
In order to make things right, I will order. Max Loads already sees where it's going, right, Pete? I will be. Oh, hold on. Let me take that stupid thing down. I will be ordering. Did I do that? Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete.
So far, he said I'll be ordering about 5 times.
Sorry, Peter. I'll be ordering possum flavored candy canes, and me, Garrett, and Steve will eat them next week on the In Hot Water football show. Is that okay? And you know what? For shits and giggles, maybe I don't, because that's the thing Steve said. Well, Gene's bummed because he has to watch us drink and he can't. That doesn't bother me at all. That doesn't. I've been in places where I can't drink and I don't. It's very responsible. And that's the other thing that's been going on. I can take down the possums. Like I was saying the other day on the show, and like again, the Dabbleverse weighs in, blah, 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 because I feel like maybe I need to take a break from drinking just because I feel like I'm drinking because, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it. But, you know, like we do the show and then the fans send it and stuff. So it's like, you know, take a break. That's all. But it's like I can. And the reason I'm telling people this is because, and this ties into what I was saying before you came here, and I'll wrap it together nicely. I'll tie it together nicely. I'll wrap it into a neat little bow. And I'll even tie it into what you were saying about what I was getting to with appointment TV and schooling and stuff, and how we like to do live shows. Like, it's not your fault that you're used to this shit. And these people in the Dabbleverse, and I'm going to use this to teach an example, Peter, because I know you hate the Dabbleverse, and I love that you hate the Dabbleverse. I'm going to talk about it. But what goes on YouTube is people are like, oh, I'll just talk on the air and I'll talk whatever, as long as the chat is liking it. And because a lot of people in a lot of chats are not like our people that I know, that I've hung out with, that I communicate with in text, they're like, oh my God, these people like it. And they just shit on other people. And you know nothing about the people in the boxes. You know, like, Peter, you've followed my career. I've said this before. I'll say it again. You didn't have to make the face. That hurts.
Career.
Yes. Sorry, air quote. But, you know, how did you used to get on TV, on the radio, because you would have to talk about yourself and who you were. And when people asked you stuff, you couldn't say quickly enough who you were, where you were from, where they could see you. You know what I mean? Because that's reality. That's real life. And then you get used. And when you do stand up, you talk about things that you like, you don't like. Often you talk about yourself. And that's what I do still. And you get these people that are like, I'm just going to make shit up about people. And it doesn't matter. I never see them. No one knows anything about me. As long as the people in my fucking chat like it, I'm good at what I do. And you are good at what you do, but what you are doing is not what we're trying to keep alive here. Does that make sense, Pete?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. You're looking for something. And
no, I heard. Yeah, it makes sense. It's all just a.
I'm hip.
I'm hip. It's just all like an alternative reality. So I had 2 questions for you.
Sure.
One, Joey Dago, the Supreme Court rulings, Trump had 3 of them go his way. I guess recently they ruled that the U.S. has to bring the guy back from El Salvador, one of these maniacs.
Can I interrupt you to say this is how stupid the left is? Are you going to say they had, like, but it wasn't that he was innocent. There was a clerical error or something.
So supposedly, from what I've heard, and I don't know if there's so many people that they sent out. I'm not sure which case this was, but it was a case I'm thinking about. Like 9 years ago or something, they ruled that he couldn't be deported back to El Salvador because there were gangs there who wanted to get him or something. But my understanding is he could have been deported somewhere else. He was not here legally. So in the intervening years, the gang that wanted to get him in El Salvador is now no more. So he can be sent back there. So
by the way,
I'm not,
Pete, the reason I'm showing this is Gobble Gobble gave 5. That's $100. So that's officially a Red Baron, even if he
I
did.
got you. He's filling it up today for you.
That's how
So
we
that's
do.
one thing.
We're
And
gonna
I'm
have
not
to send him some Peroni cigars. So go
I'm
on,
not
Pete.
sure what the other Supreme Court cases were. Because I know he did well on, he's able to deport people under that law from 1798 or whatever it is. And those people, supposedly, the Supreme Court ruled that they do have a right to be heard, but in the jurisdiction where they are being held. So not Washington, D.C., it would be in Texas. And they didn't specifically say how much due process they actually deserve. So I think it could be something where they're just like, all right, let's hear what you got to say. Yeah, get out. You know what I mean? They went with an Obama Biden ruling on firearms and receivers. I got a Joey. I didn't see that one. I got to look that one up. I didn't see it. I believe what you're telling me. I saw maybe some scroll at the bottom where the Supreme Court ruled against the Second Amendment, but I had to look that one up. And the second thing is, you do those juice fasts, right? I want to do,
and I haven't yes, I need to bring them back. And I might be bringing them back next week in the biggest way with a TikTok gig, but we'll get to that in a moment. Go on.
I'm thinking of doing a 3-day fast, and I apparently just doing some electrolytes.
What do you mean?
Because I'm already doing 16 and 8. So a 3-day fast, I think, would be a piece of cake.
Dude, yeah. And please, Peter, I've seen you spit out some electrolytes.
Not true.
From my penis. What he meant is he'll be cranking me out like they stole from us on the White Lotus. And yeah, the White Lotus, by the way, Pete, we never got to that. They, 2 brothers were having sex with 2 broads, and apparently one of the broads wasn't fucking, and the other guy was fucking a girl, and he felt bad that his brother fucking wasn't coming, so he jerked his brother off.
Are you friggin' kidding me?
And if you're telling me, I called Lionel Hutz, Mrs. Simpson. This is the greatest lawsuit since I sued the Never-Ending Story for false advertising.
Am I going to sit in
I'm
court?
telling you, Pete.
I'm going to sit in court for that. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
The big pink blanket case.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? By the way,
so getting all the way back to this, okay?
I will say, I thought they, the courts did rule, or I'm sorry, the House did pass the Stop the Rogue Judges Act, which basically would limit their rulings to their jurisdiction, if I read that one right.
That are just fucking, you mean the 350 judges that the fucking Dems stuffed in before fucking they were all fucking thrown out of whatever it was, that are fucking just racking up more tax dollars for everyone with their
Texan Patrick P. said it. Yeah, you limit their jurisdiction to where their jurisdiction is. And Trump also signed an executive order that they seem to be ignoring that basically said if you bring a case, you have to have the money to pay if your case is incorrect or whatever. They can't just bring these goofy cases with no backing behind them. And I don't understand how all these people, and I think they're starting to rule that these people don't have standing. Like Trump has an executive order and immediately the ACLU or some other goofy group brings a case. Well, there's some goofy group. Like they don't, how do they have any standing? You can't just bring a case. You can't just sue that, it might hurt somebody somewhere. That's not how it works. You got to find somebody who is hurt by that executive order and then go to court and prove, they were hurt and we really have a case here. It doesn't work. Well, it could hurt somebody, so I'm just going to bring a case. And that's part of the problem. I don't know how these judges are even ruling on this stuff. So it's, but I think in that way, things are going in the right direction. They did try to pass, or the House passed the tax cut bill that Trump wanted. They passed the SAVE Act. They passed the Rogue Judges Act. That's all moving in the right direction.
Oh, as opposed to the stock market, which, by the way, is 1% lower than it was a year ago today.
Don't even care. I'm with Mr. Wonderful on this one. I don't care.
No. Isn't it fun that he's on CNN all the time and they're just so? It gets back to what you were saying about the Democrats are idiots. Like, of course, they're seemingly shocked when it's not just he pushes back. Am I wrong to say he slam dunks on them? Like he's the one they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? China 125% tariffs is like, I hope it's 400%. It's like,
Yeah, no,
when he looks at all these talking fucking empty heads, and by the way, you're right. Shout out to my second guy to tell me that. Third guy this week, Gino, stop saying you're an idiot, but wait till you take off the headgear first. I know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not dumb. All right, I'm not. But I'm saying what I should say is even the dumbest. You know why I say I'm an idiot? So the person I'm talking to 90% of the time, I don't say even a fucktard like you should know. So I say I'm an idiot. Did anyone say anything to disarm them? You know what I mean?
and I get
Keep it up, gobble gobble.
I get that there are people who are in a different situation where they're looking to withdraw from their 401ks now. And yeah, they're in a different situation than me. They may see it differently, and that's fine. I get it. But I'm not in that situation. The way I see it is simply this should have been done years ago, and it was never corrected. And all Trump is doing is using America's strength as the biggest economy, the biggest consumer country to get what they want and make things right for the United States. But these people who want to just be like every other third world shithole don't like that he's doing that. It's silly to me.
Aw. By the way, this just in. Look, Pete, pet of the day. Gobble Gobble's cat Autumn is watching Max Loads. Aw.
See, look at that.
Isn't that cute? And here's another compliment to you, Pete. Texan Patrick P said, oh, God damn it. I hate when it. Hold on. I got to remove. Fuck this. Hold on. Jesus Christ. There she. Hold on. Ba-boom. Fucking Texan Patrick P said something cute. There you go, Pete. This, Gino, this chick is better looking than the Slagathor you had on Wednesday. Oh, wait, that's Pete. No offense. If you are retarded to said slag. I don't even know what that means. Don't even know what that means, Pete.
Wednesday, you had what's her name on, right? I was in the car.
We had that Sheena Ryder on, who I thought was a lot of fun. But sometimes fans are like, oh, I think she's ugly. Yeah, I love you, Texan Patrick B, but I don't care. I don't care. Like, again, we're just there's a reason I have these people on and we joke around with them. There's a reason I didn't even talk about all her cock-sucking accolades till fucking Frankie came on and I was quizzing her on stuff. I mean, again, I'm sorry if I get a little DEFENSIVE when you don't realize how much CONTENT I'm giving you. Fucking TARD fucking HEAD. I'm sorry. Oh, he's just like, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. I'll take you off so you're not listening to me. Cow Patty, I'm not the guy that's like, oh, look, we have a hot chick on. Look at her tits. We've never been that guy. And thank you for getting that. It's like, how much more can you give? And maybe I have a shorter fuse since, you know, like when people are like,
you got that COVID fuse. Very short.
But Pete, this isn't even the COVID fuse, I would argue, and I'd love your thoughts on this. This is me being like everything I just said at the beginning. Like I'm old school, and I like having people in studio. I like doing stuff, and I'm trying to survive like in this. And thank God I'm you know, getting back to booking comedy shows and fucking traveling with it and stuff. But like I'm trying to make this work, and then you get people like, oh yeah, he had a Slagathor on. Are you out of your fucking mind? Fucking that was a funny fucking show. Fucking 2.5. And by the way, she was only Slagathor. Now I'm talking like Cow Patty was only on half the show. And then we did a whole second half that's for members only content. Fucking, if you're still on the Patreon, we appreciate your fucking support. So again, if you're just there like, she's ugly, I'm not listening to Gino, I'm allowed to be a little butthurt. Am I not, Loads?
I guess, but that sort of comes with the territory of being out there doing a show. And by the way,
that's right. And when I fucking in my own way explain to you what you're missing, you know, because I was raised by Italians who would say, I'll give you something to cry about. Remember that, Pete?
I do.
But if you're going to be in a shitty mood, I'll give you something to be in a shitty mood about. As long as you're going to be upset, I'll give you something to be upset about. Well, I didn't like Slagathor. Well, that's because you're fucking stupid. And you're not fucking saying thank you.
Tosca mentioned that you had the Violet chick on, and she went topless, which I may have been watching that show
Violet
live.
went topless on Impound. On
Right,
Compound.
I understand. Yes, I get it.
Yeah, on
I get
Compound
you are
Media.
limited.
Of course.
I get,
but,
and
but
that's
one
all.
time I showed fucking nudity by accident on my YouTube. I got nuked. So
I
what do you?
get it.
How fucking stupid are you people?
I get
They're
what
like,
you're
why is
saying.
this flagathor on? Why can't we see tits? What don't I get?
I
And
get it.
JM, see, this
And-
guy gets it. Sheena
and-
was average, but she was a great sport. That's all.
And hey, you're right. But getting back to your whole COVID situation and the short fuse, it's all coming from the same place because Impound Media went down. You had COVID you were dealing with through all that. And I think it's all created just a short fuse in you that, yeah, Jesus Christ, I'd love it if I could show her topless, but I can't because it's Rumble now, not Impound Media. I'd love it if it was still Impound Media, but it's not. So this is what you got. And we just get to hear.
Go to
know.
Sheena's, go to Violet's, go to anyone's fucking Twitter. Jesus Christ. Like they just show them fucking on there. Twitter doesn't give a shit.
Twitter shows that?
Peter.
X?
Oh my God.
X
Are you out of
shows
your
that?
mind?
I am. I don't want to be out of my mind, so I'm not going to. I just have to keep my mind straight, so I don't need to,
Watch this. And obviously I'm not going to show because I don't want to get banned.
No, it's okay. We can move on to the next thing. We get it. And she was a good sport, and she was a good interview. I did enjoy what I heard. Like I was in the car driving to golf. I played well, pretty well. I shot a 50, but that was with a 7 on the last hole, and it was a par 5. And naturally, I had to lose a ball, or I'd have broke 50.
Really?
Yeah. But I am looking forward to playing in Myrtle Beach, and my fingers are good. Remember last year at this time? I don't even know if I messed up the tip of my finger. Were you even aware of that?
Yes, it went snappy snap.
It was just hanging there, and I had to wear it, splint on it for 8 weeks. Couldn't take it off. Shower. I'd be putting finger cots on it because it was a mess. Had to golf with it. Could barely, So I'm excited to go back to Myrtle Beach now with all my fingers intact. And I played basketball last night in spite of it.
By the way, shout out to J Ham Stoneface. You know what I forgot from the second half of the show Wednesday, baby? We were showing black-headed kikes. Remember? Keanu, are you on your headset?
Yes.
Oh.
What? Only what?
Let me explain how it works in the spacious Visconti estate. Sometimes when the other one's online, we'll just put in our headsets and then you'll yell. We were showing these cute little birds, Pete. They're called black-headed kikes. They march. They march, but it's a mostly peaceful protest when they do.
I thought there was something else we were talking about in the second half of the show, but like I said, that's I got to the golf course and had to get out of the car. So I couldn't, because you went long on Wednesday night, if I recall.
Peter, Pete.
I was saying, you called me. You called me.
We ended up doing 2 hours, right? And then fucking right at the buzzer, shout out to this guy, Age of Quarrel, who threw $100. He's like, and it was so nice. He's like, really been enjoying the shows lately. The show's fucking, we've said it, like,
yeah, no.
This is its own standalone show because it's boxes, but it's you. But the Monday through Wednesday, Keatster,
You called me from the golf course in the second part of that show on Wednesday.
That's right. I did. Look at that. What are we looking at there?
It's a bird, black-headed parrot.
Yeah, but it's a kike. Look, there it is. Life with, oh, look at this. Here's a video. It's called Life with Kikes. Look, they just assume they can take whatever they want.
Is that how that's pronounced?
These are black kikes. So what they do is they break in and take your food, then they dance about it. So cute. Look at this. Oh, look at that.
I wouldn't want to have a pet bird. I feel like they'd be a dirty animal.
Thank you, EK. Pete does go long every night. Look at this. Look, that black kike is being hung upside down.
There's so much you can do with simple words.
Look, these black kikes are hanging upside down and still fighting.
Oh my God. I just feel like that bird, it was shitting those pieces of puzzle.
This black kike is confused by a puzzle. Look, this black kike is a natural with the ball.
Are you
do
kidding
one?
me?
Come on. be doing?
I can't. I just feel like they'd be crapping everywhere. There'd just be bird shit everywhere. I
Oh,
can't.
this black kike shits on the subway. You do one, Pete.
I'm not going
This
to.
black kike is helping himself to my food. Pete, come on. Oh, thank you. EK Legend. Jesus Christ. 2 black kikes just stole my truck. Thank you, EK. Good one, G. Oh, look. This black kike is jumping up and down.
I thought I'd say this black kike is hopping mad. I don't know.
There you go.
There you go. You know, I'm just not. It's not my it's not my bit. I'm not good at that.
Oh, please. The stuff you were saying before.
There you go. I like natural performers.
Look, these 2 black kikes won't admit they're gay. Frowned upon in their community. This black kike is jerking off his brother. Oh, that's a different thing. How long is this video? Look, it goes on and on.
I still can't believe what episode of White Lotus.
This black kike is getting ready for court. Hey, let me explain the joke. See, he's putting on a suit, Pete.
What's he getting ready? Getting ready for court? Is that what they said?
Yeah.
They're fighting. So, what season of White Lotus is that filthy thing in?
This black kike is puzzled. It was this last episode. What do you mean?
So it's season 3? Because Gene,
it was like
Holy
the second.
crap!
Gay bitches special. It was the second to last episode, right, babe? She's not listening again.
I don't know because because we're looking for something else to watch since we got through Severance. I'm going to start watching The Pit at your high recommendation.
Oh, Peter, please. Peter,
Chris,
you know what? I need you to watch The Pit so you could be like, so you can call Keanu and be like, yeah, your fucking husband's insane. But I'm not, Peter.
Okay.
I'm not.
It's
incredible. They show a doctor crying.
I'm looking.
What's that?
I was looking for another show to watch with MAXXX, and White Lotus came up. And I think the kids, I think our daughter's watching the White Lotus. So, and she said the season, some are good, some are bad. So Chris was going to start watching it. I'm like, I'll watch that with you. Is there nudity in White Lotus?
Oh yeah, Asian.
Okay. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah. By the way, shout out! New season of Black Mirror. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Once you go Black Lotus, you never get credit. That's
what is Black Mirror? Is that an older show?
God, oh my God! Hold on, I'm behind on a couple rumble. Black Mirror is fucking.
Is that older?
It's a modern day Twilight Zone on the Netflix.
Okay, has it been on for a while?
It was on a lot. It really came out during the lockdown.
Oh,
and then I wish I'd seen this sooner. Fucking the COVID fuse has been lit. I hate that it does that. Stop sharing. I don't know why it does that. Present your screen. COVID fuse has been lit. Yeah, it's like the Black Mirror is a modern day Twilight Zone, Pete. It's really good.
Okay, one of these, I didn't really like the Twilight
observation.
Zone.
In my opinion, I would never begrudge you your choices. Plus, I had to do work. The blue whale proves the gratitude I have given you. I wasn't bitching fag. I love it. Gino, I think Jackson was just making a joke about Pete looking like an adult start, not dissing Sheena. No, he was dissing Sheena in our. Here's the thing, because I text with you guys. I love you guys, and he was like, "It's like I don't like her. I don't like OnlyFans whores." I'm like. And I get a little butthurt that I take full responsibility for when it's like, I think I'm putting on a great show. I think, again, I'll say it again. If you go on X, whoever you like, trust me, go to Little Violet's page. Her tits are out in half the pictures. Okay? Go to
Little
fucking
Violet.
Writer's page. I went to the link and the top was some black guy just blasting fucking her face. You know what I mean?
What?
Some black Mike fucking beheading her.
What kind of
Without the feathers.
What kind of
without a single feather on him? Go on, Pete.
What kind of sickness and diseased minds are out there? I forget, but I'm writing it down. Little Violet's page. I don't have a pen up here. Oh, here it is. Little Violet.
Oh, there you go, Pete. Yeah. Make sure you're looking when Maxine's in the room. So she's like, "What are you doing?"
I forget what I was going to tell you now. You got me off. Okay, so I will start. We're going to start watching The White Lotus. That's good to know that there's something in there.
Oh, you know what else is coming back? In I think May. Poker Face.
We watched all those, I believe.
Poker Face, which is also at the top of Sheena Ryder's X page, people, by the way.
And
Only it's a different poker. It's a larger. She's not making a poker face.
By the way, we're watching your Elsbeth. Great show, the Elsbeth. I enjoy it, but oh boy, you talk about being all libtarded out. They took a hard left.
I didn't notice it. I only watched 3 episodes, and although last night I actually watched an episode of Columbo. Sometimes I just need to fucking mellow out, and I watched the Roddy McDowell Short Fuse one, where the guy makes
the thing is, the first couple episodes, Elizabeth, it's not there. You don't really see it. But as it goes on, it becomes her son's, it's a whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it becomes a whole thing.
And I even said that when I fucking brought it up to you and the wife. I'm like, I love the show. I said the one thing I don't like is they have these underlying themes they're running with, and it connects show to show, which I didn't like. Although I will say this about Poker Face, which I love.
Like that. I like that in Elsbeth. I like the that they bring people back.
I didn't because every Columbo episode was standalone. So that's why I didn't.
I understand your purist nature.
My what?
Your purist nature.
Oh,
or
okay.
Purient nature, either one.
I would even say my purient. Oh no,
I said purient. I said filthy, purient. I got a vocabulary.
I know stuff.
I know stuff.
Texas Patrick B is the best. This is how we bicker. And I love this show. And I love this show. He says, I don't watch porn, but back in 94 when I turned 21, I worked at titty bars for a few years. Good times. Watch The League. It's older, but funny, y'all. Everyone told me when The League was on, they're like, you must be watching it. And I never watched The League. I saw random episodes. What?
Is that about fantasy football? The League?
Yes. With Nick Kroll and the guy Steve Ranazizzi, who became famous, saying he was near the towers when the planes were hitting, when really he was near a tower of whiskey in California.
Oh, but by the way, more and more stuff is coming up on my feeds about the whole 9/11 fiasco.
Go and when you say fiasco, what do you mean?
That it was just a total inside job, and the people that we've been through it on here. Everybody in our chat and this chat, I'm sure, is well aware. That there were people gone in there in the month preceding it. That at night they think they were putting an explosion.
Oh yeah, like they were setting up explosives.
Right, and then you have the people who were at the Pentagon and flat out said they didn't see a plane. It looked like a missile. Some people did something. Yes. Which genius said that? See, this is where the statins got me. I'm on the citrus bergamot now, so hopefully my memory comes back.
We talked about citrus bergamot last week.
Who said that? Was that Hillary Clinton? I know it was some people did some things. Or was that Ilhan Omar?
Ilhan Omar. Peter, even I know that. Oh, well, I'm very smart now that I took the
I got it. Eventually I get it. Don't get into Building 7. You told me about Building 7. I had forgotten about it. That's a whole other thing.
That was a controlled demolition as well. You can see it. They're like, and it was crater. There was a crater there because they wanted to destroy everything in the basement. And before we were woken up by these fucking cunt liars, they're like, somebody told me like, well, there was so much, electrical stuff down there. It exploded like that. And I believe them, but that doesn't fucking happen.
No, I just saw a thing that like 5% of all the gold mined in the world is under, I guess, the Federal Reserve in New York. Supposedly, I just saw that come up. I don't know if that's true or not.
Didn't you see Die Hard 3?
Was that the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yes, it was.
Okay, once. I've seen Die Hard.
How have you only seen it once? Which is once more than fucking our boy Steve. How have you only seen it once?
Here's why, Gene. Because Die Hard 2 and 3, they were all right. But once you make one, I don't need to see. They were lesser movies. Even 2 with the stuff at the airport and all that. It was all right. But it wasn't. Right. 1 was great. And I saw 2 and I'm like, 2 was all right. And I just, did myself the solid of, okay, let's see what 3's about. And I'll tell you this,
douchey. The kikes weren't flying on 9/11. They made sure of that. Kikes were told not to fly on 9/11. See what I did there?
I can't even get into the Oklahoma City bombing. That was questionable from the start.
I don't know what this means, by the way. OEM was in building 7 with tons of multiple types of fuel. What does OEM mean, Pete? Do you know? Joey, can you be more specific?
OEM, Office of EM.
Original equipment manufacturer. That's what it says here. Abbreviation OEM. What does that mean,
Might
Joey?
be Office of Energy Management.
Ah, that's not bad.
Could be. I think that's what OEM is. Office of Energy
Okay, so
Management.
what does that mean? So you're saying in New York
There
you have
was
the Office
plenty
of
of
Energy Management, so
emergency
you
management.
store it all there? I don't even get that. Thank you.
Emergency management, he's saying. Yeah. Well, you blow it up, so you got no, once you blow that, you get rid of any evidence they had of anything that was going on.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that so they would have all types of fuel in there? I don't get that, Joey.
Well, it's emergency management. If there's an emergency, you need to get fuel out, in a real emergency, where let's say power goes down somewhere in the city. Maybe you got to get energy out.
If I may, we're getting a call from Joey Dago. I love it.
Oh, I love this. I like the call in.
Joey, you're in hot water with fucking Max Loads and Gino. We love it. What do you explain to us? Would you please, sir?
How are you, my friend?
I'm great, buddy. How are you, man?
Good. So, after the first Trade Center bombing, the mayor moved the New York City Office of Emergency Management into Building 7, in which they had oil, gas, diesel, and compressed natural gas to run the Office of Emergency Management in case of an emergency.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
I
caused
don't
everything to blow up.
And I guess that makes sense. I mean, I certainly believe you. It just doesn't make sense to me, I should say, because why would you store those in a downtown financial district building?
Because the Port Authority is exempt from most of New York City's fire codes.
Which is fine, but still you shouldn't have it there because I guess that could happen.
Well, he did that as a fuck you. I think it was Giuliani who did it. Did it as a fuck you, you'll never come after these buildings again. And, well, you see how that worked out.
I do.
Joey, I just wanted to ask, when he says the first World Trade Center bombing, he meant like the Blind Sheik in 95, right? Or 94?
93.
93.
One you meant,
with the
right?
van in the basement and all that.
That killed one person and blew the poor fucking parking security guard through 3 feet of concrete.
Which, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that also around there's something else that went on around that same time? I don't know.
Oklahoma City?
Ruby Ridge or one of them.
By the way, J. Ham Stoneface says all the gold ever mined placed in a single cube would measure approximately 22 meters per side. Fort Knox is way too big for just gold. All right.
Okay.
Somebody had said if you melted all of the gold mined, it would fill 2 or 3 Olympic swimming pools. That's it.
Are you full of shit?
No, something crazy like that.
I was unawares.
Yeah, it's not. I guess it's not as much.
That's all I got.
You're the man. Thank you, Joey.
Thanks,
Love you
Joey.
guys.
By the way, did Waco happen then, Peter?
Waco, yeah, that's what it was. It was all around that same time. The 90s, you had Ruby Ridge, the Blind Sheik thing at the World Trade Center, Waco. It was Waco, Ruby Ridge, Blind Sheik at the Trade Center, Oklahoma City building. A lot was going on in the early and mid 90s. Crazy.
Crazy stuff, Pete.
By the way, speaking of crazy stuff, those nuts in Florida just passed the bill outlawing geoengineering over the state of Florida. These maniacs are passing bills for things that don't exist. Geoengineering is chemtrails, cloud seeding. And they're passing bills to outlaw it. And you got all these people who are like, oh, it doesn't exist. Right, the Unabomber was going on. You can't do nothing to his brother. Let's make a note of that.
Oklahoma City, yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. All of this crap was going on in the 90s. And it just seems like it
Fun fucking
culminated.
time.
It seems like it culminated in 01 with the big one. You know, the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and all that. So it's just interesting looking back on it. And again, because it all goes back to COVID, it's just weird how when you had time to look back on it all and connect all the dots, something's clearly amiss. You know?
I went to get more coffee, but you're very good, big brother. Sorry about that. I don't need just made it look like you were just doing
Woodstock 99, one of the best Netflix specials. I don't know if that's Netflix or Amazon Prime.
It's
What
Netflix. I didn't even look at it. Why? Why were you? What was so? It didn't even grab my attention. What was so great about it, Loads?
What would be great about it, Gene?
I have no idea.
What would be great about any show?
Tits?
Yes. So
you're saying you watched? I don't want to see fucking Woodstock tits.
Gene, it was beyond that. Woodstock 99. Nick's like, you got to watch this. You didn't. I'm like, Nick, I barely remember there's a Woodstock in 99. Holy crap, what a friggin' disaster. That's what's so interesting about it. It is an absolute pandemonium. Yeah, mayhem, pandemonium, no food, no water. They did it, instead of doing it out in the field where it would get muddy, they did it on an abandoned like Air Force base or something. So it's supposed to be safer, but people stormed the gates and came in anyway. You just got to watch it. It's incredible. It is human. It is just human beings at their most base level.
Base.
It is. And of all people, Nick was like, you should watch this. I'm like, why? He's like, you didn't hear about this? This went on in your lifetime. I'm like, 1999. I was, trying to figure some things out with work. But yeah, I agree with whoever on there said, it might have been Joey Dago. Yeah, all that changed my views, right? I think most people our age, and Rogan put it best in his special when he said, I don't believe any of that. It's basically like, if you told me the moon landing was false and vaccines are bad for you and all that stuff, I'd have been like, you're crazy. Now, I don't know if we landed on the moon. Like, there's just too much out there now. Hell, Buzz Aldrin, there's video of him all over the place saying, yeah, we never went to the moon. Never went to the moon. We never went to the moon. Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, and
was one of the guys who went to the moon.
Halen belt and stuff. What's that, Pete?
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin, he was supposedly, and he said we never went to the moon. It would have been good if we actually went. He's all over the place.
Yeah, but those are I've seen those clips, and it seems like they're clipping half of what he said. Had we actually did it, and he's not talking about landing on the moon. I don't feel like, Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
maybe.
I'm not saying we didn't land. If you had to rank things I believe, okay, things I don't believe, the validity or the lack of validity, obviously Kennedy, JFK, and that's already been,
right.
No one thinks he shot JFK. Okay, towers were an inside job. Yeah, that's above fucking the moon. I think it's more like we
landed
on the moon than fucking Al Qaeda were purely responsible for 9/11. How's that?
I will give you that. I will give you that. Yeah, but I can still. But I'll tell you, the moon thing. The more I hear, the more I'm believing we didn't go there. As I hear more and more stuff, it's sort of like as I hear more and more stuff about 9/11, I've come to the fact that was flat out an inside job, and here's why. You got the Patriot Act out of it. You got control. Like, I could go chapter and verse on that one. The moon landing, I guess that made the country feel good. To me, I just haven't gotten to the adjacent things that did. Whereas 9/11, it's easy. By the way, somebody said, Tosca said the music that was out in the 90s, interesting, he should point that out because that was one of the parts of it. Who's the guy? Whatever the friggin' was Fred Durst in the band? What band was he in?
Limp Bizkit?
Yes. They performed, and that's when they tore the place down. And what people were saying, again,
something Gino's never accused me of, having a Limp Bizkit. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Well, you're the one saying it. You were saying something very intelligent, and then you had to make a joke about the pink blanket. I don't get you sometimes.
That's what makes the show go.
Oh, you get me all the time under the pink blanket. You wouldn't be able to if I had a limp biscuit. Pete, come on, we barely touched upon the limp. All right, you go. Back to you.
At any rate,
What did Fred Durst say, big brother? I'm sorry.
you didn't say anything, but they were blaming, if you watch it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but why not blame young men of the era? It was their fault. And the music just brought out the whatever you want to call it, and the pent-up rage, whatever. I guess they were already getting tired of being called toxic masculinity or whatever. But you just need to watch it. It's fascinating. You know, they have that one on the Fire Festival or whatever that I guess never really happened.
Was it Firefly? Whatever, the made-up festival that
Fire, right.
I went to jail for it, right?
Yeah, this actually happened. Crazy, Gene. Crazy. It's worth it. It's sort of like
shout out. Oh, go on, Pete. But this is good. Shout out to Tosca, who says fucking, I'll put it right because I don't feel like finding it in the chat. Well, it turns out Kaczynski, I'm telling you, I want to read that. I saved the PDF. Shout out to fucking our boy fucking Jim from Florida sent me the actual book. Turns out
Really?
Kaczynski, if he wasn't an asshole, like he said, he basically said technology is ruining everything, didn't he?
see, I don't know.
Hold on, I'll get to it in a sec. Let's get to these. Gino, please don't get butthurt when I shit on your guests, except Peter, who rocks. I may not be a comedian, but I like to bust balls like one, and I'm always drunk, so be a mensch. Look, again, I'm just, this is the thing people don't get. I'm being honest. I hate, not you guys. You guys are great. I'm always going to be honest with it's how I do. And I own everything I've ever done. And I explain, like yesterday, Keanu was on fucking Kevin Brennan's show for the 80th time. Okay, like 5th. And watch this. This isn't even going to be mean. I say it all the time. Like, Kevin doesn't respect anyone he has on his show as a comedian or as a person until he has people on like Keanu. I was saying this to Anthony while I was hanging out, not doing the football show. It's like he has these moments like, oh, yeah, I remember being a New York comedian, hanging out with New York comedians like Gino and Keanu, and I'll say Anthony and all those people, you know? And so fucking I fucking call Keanu like while she's on. I'm like, put me on. I'm like, because Keanu's on and they're giving him super chats hand over fist. And I'm like, put me on. I'm like, Kevin, stop being a fucking piece of shit. I'm like, I get that you don't pay Keanu because you're used to paying untalented hacks, but Keanu's a very good kid. And he gave her money finally, which he should have, you know, but that's the world that fucking I can't fucking tolerate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing a show here. And let me tell you something. When I was, Peter, remember every time I went on fucking Scott Farrell as a comedian that fucking, needed exposure? Did I ever once say like, he doesn't pay me? Are you out of your fucking mind? You out of your fucking mind. When I did Artie Quitter's podcast, when I was Artie Quitter's second chair, when I did Direct TV, Pete, did you ever say to me, how much do you get paid for that? No,
that was any of my business.
Because that was the model back then. You want to be on with comedians to get work with comedians so you get your own gig and you're sitting at a desk fucking given to you by fucking Anthony Cumia, getting paid for all your hard work. But all these untalented fucks, I'm going to take Peter off the screen so he doesn't judge me. All these incredibly untalented fucks, okay, that just don't even do comedy, like fucking Fat Mountain, those two cunty fucking girls that fucking think they have any talent, and one fucking cunt stands there in front of a folded flag we know nothing about, fucking stolen valor horse shit, and if she's mad at me, then tell me who that represents, because no one knows anything about you. Fucking people like Stevie Lou, who's a fucking drug-dealing, cock-sucking loser. They're like, oh, Ray DeVito, they want money to be on the show. And that becomes the norm when it shouldn't be, right? Your thoughts, Pete. Never asked you for money when you jerked me off under the pink blanket. Not once. And that's, and again, love you, Tex and Patrick P. That's what I push back against. Well,
at any rate, yeah, I never asked you what you made because I figured you were doing your business. That was none of my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you were doing what you need to do.
It wasn't about business. It wasn't something like, it just, you knew, like, it's not like, hey, you get money for that. Like, it wasn't, you said it perfectly. I'm working.
Right,
I'm
right.
These guys, these guys think, And again, watch this, Pete. I'll make it about the bigger picture as I do. That's my problem with fucking YouTube. They are literally censoring speech. Watch this. I'm gonna fucking watch this. Raped, sexually assaulted, murdered, killed,
please,
suicide. Peter, let me say one more
I'm
thing.
with you. I know. I've seen
I know,
the
but let me
FDA.
add one more thing that I want you to weigh in on. I apologize for interrupting you, but I want you to have the whole thing. And then with this, people are like, well, we're getting super chat. Of course, because they want me to give you fucking $5 and you to give Keanu $5 and then Keanu to give Maxine. And then they think, fucking, look at all the money we're making when they're controlling your speech while taking 30% of everything. They're taking your money to train you to speak better. That's my problem with the cocksucking faggots on YouTube. Peter?
Again, I don't live in, I know exactly what you're talking about. And by the way, I've seen it on X as well, where people, and maybe it's just out of habit because they're on YouTube and on X, and it's just out of habit that they don't use raped or sexually assaulted or killed, murdered. These are just, I mean, killed, that's a word used in multiple definitions. Since killed, raped, murdered, hung, whatever. It's ridiculous. I don't even pay attention to that because it's so stupid. It doesn't matter to me. It's just like, okay, whatever. When I see that, I know that somebody got to you or whatever. You are doing that for some reason. And by the way, again, if you're under 40, that's the world you're in. You grew up in it. That's how things are. It's hard for me to be critical simply because that's what you were taught. That's what you were taught. That's how things were. You can't say these words. Words hurt people. You know what I mean? And there was a whole thing going on for a while at the end of my career about words that hurt or something. And I just saw a thing where it said friends who are basically nasty to each other are generally 300% more honest than other people. I don't know if that's true or not, but
friends who what?
Friends who like bust each other's balls, are nasty to each other, are like 300% more honest. And T.I. Kilgore 77, you have to look for it, but he nailed what happened when Fred Durst got up there and sang "Break Things." It was the fuse was lit. They just needed something to set it off, and it went. Yes, and they went crazy, burnt the place down. But I mean, yeah, Gene, all that, I was shocked. Like when I saw that, I shouldn't say shocked. I guess surprised when I saw that. Why are people using asterisks in the middle of words? Because at first I'm like, what the hell does that say? I'm like, what? Or they'll use the at sign for sex or whatever. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? Since I mean, these aren't even bad words or taboo words. Like somebody hits, like Schwarber the other night. He hit a bomb. He murdered that ball. He fucking destroyed it. Whatever you want, destroyed. He flattened it. Whatever. These are words he used. You know what I mean? You're watching a football game. It's pass interference. He raped them. You can't. People get upset about that, by the way, now because they say use the word rape. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? What are we doing?
Do you remember ages ago when Howard Cosell? It was Anthony Gibbons. No, Anthony. Some wide receiver for a tiny little black wide receiver for the fucking Redskins. Fucking had a great game, and he catches another touch, and it's like that little monkey, and he said it harmlessly. Yes. He did. And they're like, apologize. And thank God Howard Cosell's like, no. Right. Why? Did you think? He's like, why? Did you think I was calling that nigger a monkey? And they're like, no, we didn't think that at all. But it's so funny that people get all bent out of shape.
Look at that monkey. And the other guy who got jammed up was your boy, Jimmy the Greek. They have an extra twitch muscle, you see.
They just caught him drunk. And he was talking stuff like anyone would be like,
When you breed, they break their big.
By the way, perfect example. Like what I said, I just use that word. It's a joke. I'm just being funny. I'm not being racist, in my opinion. But when a guy goes, well, the blacks have an extra twitch muscle. And
he said they bred them that way.
This is kind of racist.
Well, he was saying they breed them that way. And in slave days, they did breed them.
Sure.
Which, by the way, there's a case in the Supreme Court. Everybody wants to say, the Supreme Court said, Dred Scott, they said people were property. They got that one wrong. And there was one of the justices who said, this isn't right. So just saying that there are insight, just like in Plessy versus Ferguson. There was one justice who said this might not be right. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Just
feel you, dog. By the way, shout out Bob Van Patrice. I'll get to these. Boom, 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 boom. Excuse me. Trump should just elect himself district judge if he wants to get more done. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
I think
There are things on the moon we can see from Earth with powerful telescopes. What does that mean?
maybe we can see some of the stuff they left behind. In that case, that would be some good evidence that they actually went.
By the way, one of my favorite lines from yesterday's Garrett and Steve was they were talking about like how Staten Island's a giant dump, and they're like you could see the Fresh Kills landfill from space or something, and then Steve was reading, he's like, you can't. He's like, you can't even see Staten Island from space, which is so fucking funny. He cracks me up there. Tosca, the same dude is doing Fire 2 now. It looks like it'll be another scam. There's no way he would risk going to jail again, Tosca, would he?
Did he go to jail? I didn't know he went to jail.
Oh, he did. He did. I'll look that up. I think he texted Patrick me. I may not be a comedian, but I sang in multiple church choir till I was 16, which is way cooler, right? Yeah. Bob Van Patrice texted didn't say anything about comics getting paid. He made a joke about Pete being a sex worker. She was collateral damage in the joke setup. Nothing personal. She was a sweetheart. Yeah, I don't think I implied anything about paying comics has nothing to do with what we do here. I'm talking about just how fucking that's what goes on in how the world has become like, well, I'm on YouTube and there's super chats and I should get paid. And they're not even comedians. They're people like fucking to put it in terms, my brother will know as Stevie Lou. They're idiots. They're Ray DeVito who fucking, is just a anyway. Curtis John says, Pete, where do you keep the pink blanket? Has Maxine Load seen it? Does she get hot when you pull it out? The crank blanket pervert. Peter, your thoughts?
What kind of thoughts can I have on those comments? I don't even think about that. The pink blanket. It's like, do you understand how twisted your boy Gene is to come up with something this warped and then have it be on a major TV show on the MAXXX? I guess that's on. It's unbelievable to me. Pull out the. I don't have. Pull out the blanket. Where'd he go? Oh boy! Look at you.
What, big brother?
Oh my God!
I'm yelling at Ken. I'm like, where'd you put the blanket? Oh,
by the way, since somebody, I made him do it. Did somebody? Because he said we have telescopes to see 200 million light years away. Did you see somebody was saying, oh my God.
Corsica, there, by the way, where was Corsica? I missed him. There he is. I love this guy.
Too cold in the garage.
Today,
too cold in the garage. Can't be out there today. Too cold. Can't do it. Freezing out there in April in Jersey. Couldn't do it.
Come on, Loads. By the way, Bob, Max's video freezes momentarily from time to time. Take the pink blanket off the router. I guess his router isn't fluid proof, right? Right? Huh? Oh, Mindy Lee 3785. When can we see you at Stoney's again? Mindy Lee, thank you so much. I think I'm at liberty to say the end of July. You're gonna love this, Loads. Can we say the other thing yet?
May 10th. I know you're in Vineland.
Yeah, I got to put that up. Mindy Lee, the save the last weekend of July, the 26th. We will be at Stoney's. Me, Keanu, Steel Toe. I'll tell you, who won't be there. His stupid ex-wife and the other two fucking piece and the absolute piece of garbage that is Nick Rekieta.
Where is Stoney's?
Stoney's is in I forget where. I mean, it's in Minnesota. Mindy Lee, where is Stoney's? It's in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's right out of St. whatever they're in, but yeah, we can't wait. It's going to be
St.
great.
Paul?
Yeah. What's the other Saint? St. Cloud.
Oh, St. Cloud. I believe that's where Jimmy Eisenreich was from.
St. Cloud area. Let's see. It's in Rockville, Minnesota.
45. Today, I was saying, today is the definition of miserable here.
What's that, Pete? I talked over you. I'm sorry, Loads.
No, I was just saying, today is the definition of miserable here. He hit it. 45 and raining with a slight wind. Unbelievable.
Look, I love Mindy Lee. Rockville. There you go. As our boys say, don't go back to Rockville, ill. By the way, EK, Pete's so lengthy, he needs a backup alarm when he pulls out. What's that beeping? I'm finished, Maxine. Thank you. Thank you, EK. Thank you, Mindy Lee. That's good stuff.
Oh, I see stuff like that's fantastic. You're gonna have to check your.
St. Crystal, Minnesota. Thank you.
You're gonna have to.
Smart ass, where you been, buddy? I lost my clanger. Can't find my goddamn clanger.
You need
Smart
to.
ass.
You're gonna need to check the rest of your text messages, Gene, to see if we still have a game Sunday, because it's supposed to rain right on through.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah, I wouldn't mind one more fucking week off. Like the weather's supposed to be terrible in fucking Tabernacle, New Jersey.
The weather, it's freaking awful. It's awful. It's supposed to. I can look at the weather right now. I use AccuWeather, by the way. I don't know what kind of hocus pocus weather other people use. WeatherBug to me is very inaccurate.
There's no way there's a game. It's raining all day tomorrow. Friday, let's see, Saturday. Low, breezy, cold with occasional rain. Sunday, drizzle in the morning, otherwise warmer. Maybe. I guess we'll.
Well, here's the thing. I asked some of the guys who are in this league, like, okay, look, because they were saying at basketball last night that they don't think we're gonna have games, and I'm like, oh, I'm just curious, having played in all these different goofy softball leagues. Some of these maniacs, Gene, the field looks. I can't even explain how bad these field. The right-hand batter's box is flooded. First base, second base, and they go out there with kitty litter, and like they're at the vet. Or I'm sorry, Citizens Bank Park, trying to get it ready to play, and then the outfield's flooded. They're like, oh yeah, we'll play. And I asked these guys, they're like, no. They said, if there's something like a puddle by second base, we'll try and fix it, and if we can play, we'll play. But they said if the outfield's flooded and it's a mess, we go home. And that's sort of what I remember about this league when I played in it before. And I told Mongo, I'm like,
normally when I'm saying there's a puddle by second base is my groin. All right, so what were you saying?
It is not. We do not play at Prickett's Mill, which is great though. This guy's got to be close because Prickett's Mill's around the corner.
My nigga.
Yeah. But I think the Tabernacle League may play at Prickett's Mill Field. I am not sure. I never played in that league, and that's apparently they're pretty serious there. They are pretty serious there. As a matter of fact, remember the quarterback from Penn State who played for the Jets? Hackelberg? The quarterback from Penn State who played for the Jets.
Yes. Everyone's Chad Pennington?
No. Hacklenberg, whatever.
Oh, God. Peter, did he play for the Jets? He was so bad. He couldn't even They tried him in the UFL. He was even bad there. So
apparently he played softball in the Tabernacle League. And I knew one of the guys who was in it. He was in left field or center field, and this guy was playing third base. Gene, a guy tug up. He said, I never heard the sound of a ball.
Christian Hackenberg. I Googled Christian Jets, Penn State QB. So he was playing third base. I'm sorry. Go, Lois.
No, he was playing the outfield. This other guy was playing third base. Guy tug up. He said, I've never heard a sound of a ball going past my head like that throw coming in from him in center field or whatever. He said,
really?
Absolute unbelievable. Like you just
imagine him with our catcher, by the way. Shout out to our girl Mindy Lee, who when can we see it Sundays again? And then another $2. Wild card, and I knew it. We can't wait. We will definitely be there. Mindy Lee, thank you so much. We're really looking forward to it. We really fucking are.
I'm gonna get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Right back.
All right, take your time. While he's doing that thing, Max loads, he'll be right back. He is just hardest working man in the biz. So yeah. So all that said, I guess my wet field of dreams, that's pretty good. Nice. So all that said, getting back to load. So that's what we try and do. I'm not fighting with my boy fucking Cow Patty. I'm not. I'm just saying and I want to thank you. It helps me realize this. Like, this is what I've always been trying to do. And I made myself a little bit BANANAS crazy, because I'm trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Being in the YouTube world, which never worked for me, and I like it here on Rumble, not like I have a choice, but it's I've always enjoyed reality more than anything. I've enjoyed having people at the desk at Compound Media. And I tell you how I earned that, from being me and fucking showing up at gigs and fucking not expecting money like these fucking, I gotta say it again, like Stevie Lou. Stevie Lou is the most untalented man fucking alive. And I hope to God, I hope to God that fucking Kevin Brennan, I tried to get Keanu, she's like, I'm not doing your fucking lame psycho work for you. I'm like, text Kevin Brennan never to pay Stevie Lou again now that you've paid actual talent. But she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. You know who's got actual talent? Max Loads. Welcome back, buddy. How are you, dude?
Say so. I don't actual talent. Yeah, so just
That boy has talent.
It's killing me because I'm not going to be there this week to play, but like you said, the weather's going to suck. But I think we don't play Easter Sunday, so the 27th we have another doubleheader, and that should be a decent day. You know what I mean? Maybe over 60 degrees, sunshine. So I'm thinking of doing the 3-day fast that last weekend in April.
Oh, I'll do that with you. The last weekend in April. Hold on, I'm taking a peek.
Everybody's telling me it's going to kill me. They go, oh, you check with a doctor. I'm like, oh, check with a doctor.
Peter, let me tell you something. I did the fast just like I remember asking, and they said the same things to me. And then the more you do, like, no. They're like, well, just make sure you check with a doctor. And, I went to my doctor, and he's like, yeah. It's like it's juice.
But what? I'm not even doing juice. I was just going to do I don't think I can take vitamins because when I take them on an empty stomach, I get nauseous anyway. But it's all electrolytes.
Wait, I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what so wait, stop. I know what electrolytes are, but you're saying you're just doing a water fast. That's different.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're not doing a juice cleanse. You're doing a water fast.
Yes. Have you ever done that?
I feel like there's juice cleanse, or is that just what I heard?
I asked you specifically about juice cleanse because I knew you did that. Now, I'm contemplating doing a 3-day water fast from what I've heard, and you've talked about autophagy. I said phagy. And apparently, from everything I've read, what's his name from the UFC swears by him. Dana White.
I'll try one with you. That'll, like, if we do it at the same time, it'll make us fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Right. So Mongo's doing it. He's all in. He thinks it's going to be great. So drink bone broth.
After 24 hours, drink bone broth.
Yes. And
do you know how much of bone broth my brother has drank? So much bone broth. Hold on one sec, Pete. He's talking about his mule juice. I've been drinking his mule. You sure do. I can't. It's too much with the look at Jesse. Good one, Gino. You just handed it to me. You know what that's the equivalent of? I'll say it. I've said it before, and I know you'll love it. It's when Sam, the famous Cheers episode, Albania borders on the Adriatic, and he tells the teacher, "I'm not banging you anymore. I'm going to pass on my own." And she yells at him on the phone and stuff, and he goes, "Before I hang up, is there anything I should cram?" And he just goes like this, and he goes, "Okay, but I gave you that." That is when he goes drink bone broth. Jesse, one, thank you, but you gave us that. You gave us that.
I just added bone broth to the list.
Peter, that should be top 3.
So what I'm saying,
wait, let me say this. So you're saying you want to do just a water cleanse, and like you add electrolytes? Because I've heard where you just do the water. I've also heard the cayenne pepper one where once a day you drink.
None of that crazy shit.
What are you?
It's very simple. Like Jesse James said, your body needs certain things, so you're allowed like broth. You're allowed broth from an animal.
So wait, water fasting, is that what you want? A water cleanse?
No, just a 3-day fast, and you drink water, bone broth, and they say you can drink electrolytes because you got to keep your body in balance with your salts and everything. And I was listening to Dana White. He's like, he worked out during it. Like, I figure if I start, I eat Saturday night or Friday night, or Saturday night, Sunday softball. That day's easy, done. Monday, I get up, work out. Hopefully it's a nice day. I go golf. Monday's done. Tuesday, hopefully nice, maybe mow the lawn or something. Let it go. And then Tuesday night, I can eat again.
If you mow the lawn, trust me, Maxine's going to be drinking the bone broth. Am I right? Because you're going to pull out and she's going to keep the change.
I don't even know. I don't even know what I even.
I
why
think you
bother.
do. I think you do.
The people seem to. Yeah, I could heat up a pan of coffee and drink that for 3 days. You are allowed
Ah, baby,
coffee.
did you hear? He goes, I could heat up a pan of coffee and
Oh,
I'm saving all my plastic, all
look
my
at JM,
plastic cups.
speechless.
Yeah.
keep the change. You know, I will give credit to the man that taught me that. Actually, no, Bob Levy loved that line, but it was Danny Devine when I used to live in fucking Delaware. Buddy, my loved golfer. I my 8-iron I still have from him. It's a Max Fly because I lost mine and he gave me that. He used to, but he goes. I was talking about some woman I'd bang, pull out, and he's like, "Oh, she keeps the change," and I'm like, "Legend." EK Legend probably is proud of that. I'm like, "Yeah, she can't." I said, "Yeah, Danny, she keeps the change," and I said that to Levy once. He's like, "Oh, that's great. Keeps the change."
Mo just nicked my left paw. Yeah, so my lawn looks great, by the way. Looks fantastic. So I'm excited about that. But at any rate, I think they're the 3 days to do it. Because then Wednesday, I go help out in Vineland, and that's how Eaton is that day. But I think I want to try it, and I'm not worried about because they say you should build up to it with the 16/8 fast, which I've been doing
Right.
for almost 2 months now. So I'm already doing that. And the one day I went like 20 hours just because I didn't get around to eating, and I'm like,
Right.
and they say you get like that second day you feel great. I guess like sort of a runner's high, where maybe you're
Right.
just gonna pass out because you're dizzy.
Because you're dizzy.
But apparently, like I was looking into it, and there's all sorts of electrolytes out there you can get. But yeah, bone broth and electrolytes. That'll keep you. Hey, look, all I know is when I'm hungry, people are like, "Oh, you're not really hungry. Just drink some water. You're not really hungry." So
Well,
like, you know what?
That is,
You know what? I'm
I-
not really hungry.
but
I
I've
read-
said that before, dude. Like that is what I learned the first time I did a juice. They make fun of me to this day for it, but it's like just drink water, and you're not always as hungry as you think.
You're not always as hungry as you think. Guess what, Gene? I'm always as hungry as I think because I'm fucking thinking I'm hungry. I'm hungry, G. Did. I want to eat.
Let's take a look. By the way, shout out Smartass. I used to be up to eating only once every 36, 48 hours. It was
Holy
great. I'm
shit.
fat now. By the way, Smartass has the logo that drinks. I love that bit.
I read some guy in 1965. He was so fat he didn't eat for a year, a little over a year. He was under doctor's care. He just took vitamins every day, and he didn't eat for a year. He lived off his own fat, and he lost over 200 pounds. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What did you want to read about water fasting? How am I going to die?
I'll get to that in a sec. So wait, the fat guy just what?
He didn't eat anything for over a year. He lived off his own fat. I'm not sure how fat he was. It didn't say, but he lost 240 some pounds, and he was under doctor's care. And he lost it.
You lost 380 pounds, Max.
All he did was took vitamins and electrolytes. When you got, here's what I think.
Let's look into this water
Here's the
fast.
thing, Gene.
What's that?
If I was stranded somewhere and couldn't eat for 3 days, I would survive. So why would this be an issue?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be, but people make you worry about shit. Water fasting may offer several health benefits, including weight loss and a reduced risk of some chronic conditions. However, it may also be associated, again, not be so. Fasting is water fasting is the type that is everything except water has become more popular in recent years. But and that's just it. Anyone that's fasting to lose weight, that's doing like a 3-day, anyone that's doing a juice fast or a water fast saying I'm going to lose weight, you're idiots. Okay. Because the whole point of a fast is to rest your system. We were hunter-gatherers. We were fucking hunter-gatherers when we started out, and you would fucking land like a fucking woolly mammoth or something, and then you fucking eat like a pig, and then you wouldn't eat for fucking sometimes days, and your body would rest, and your body is... So when you drink nothing but juice or nothing but water, your liver, which 99% of its job is digesting food and liquids, fucking it gets a giant fucking rest. It rests your whole system. You know, you're going to lose weight when you fast, but but if you're just doing it to lose weight, you will eat like a pig when you can again. Anyway, so studies have shown, I'm back here. Studies have shown that water fasting has benefits. It may lower risk of chronic diseases. It will stimulate autophagy, where old fucking dead cells are turned into healthy ones.
That's it. That's what I want to get to.
Yes, it is.
I want to reset. Apparently, yes, it almost resets your cells, basically.
It does.
Right.
Do you realize if you don't eat for 36 hours anything but water, fucking, you know, your body starts producing, you can look this up, stem cells.
What? Oh, stem cells. Yeah. So I'm thinking about, like, I don't think it'd be that big a deal. Now, I might be slightly irritable during that time. It's possible. You know. But that's what I'm going to try and do it, because we get back from Myrtle Beach. I have a week of being home doing the 16/8 fasting, and then I'll hit that thing on that weekend, and I'm set for May. Roll right into May, cleaned up, you know. And yeah, if I lose
ready
some
to
weight,
go, just shiny, happy Petey.
Yeah, if I lose some weight, I lose some weight. It'd be great to lose 4 or 5 pounds. I read where you can lose, like, some people lose 4 pounds, some people lose like 12 pounds. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to me. Just if I lose any weight, that'll be a plus. I just want to see how I feel afterwards.
John Derek fasted for 2 weeks, drinking nothing but water, juice. I don't get it.
People do this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, people can do it. That's what I mean. Like, we make a big deal out of everything now. It's not that big a deal. And that's what I said. Let's say this. If you were sick, right? If you were like food poisoning, you wouldn't eat for 3 days. You'd be puking. You'd be a fucking mess. But you lived through it. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous that people get all crazy on it.
Here you go. Dana White's 86-hour water fast explained by experts. What is this shit?
I didn't see that.
Where'd it go? There it is. What is the 86-hour fast? That's all over TikTok. Safety of Dana White's water fast explained. The UFC president is TikTok. No one cares.
All I know is I just heard talking about.
I'm going to tell you how I did it. Yeah. I love sharing this kind of stuff with you. White said, doctors have done studies on this, and the thing is legit. He continued. It gives you a 70% chance. Gives you over 70% chance of not getting cancer, Alzheimer's, or nothing. That he later added, you get absolutely shredded on this thing. White claims the fast has a range of benefits. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I've been told by experts it can help to significant. Obviously, because you're just fucking pissing out toxins.
Dude, and I agree with smart ass Al's in there 100% what he said about your brain's going to trick you to being hungry. Keep yourself busy around lunch and dinner. That is sort of what I was saying about golfing, softball, whatever. It's mowing the lawn. If you're doing something at that time, like, I don't get hungry in the morning now. If I get up at 9 o'clock, I don't even feel like eating until 12 or 1. So once you pass that 12 or 1 point, you don't miss it.
Oh, Peter, that's why I always said, like, you know how easy it was for me when I was at the studio intermittent fasting, because I would go to bed, and whatever time I went to bed, fine. Like, I wouldn't eat in the morning. Maybe I'd have a cigar. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I don't know if that's purely fasting. Have a cigar, drink my black coffee, and then I'm doing my show. I'm not hungry during my show. And then I'm like, well, let me walk home and listen to Anthony, you know, who, by the way, is killing it on Tourette. Like, I was bullshitting with him yesterday. And I said, I'm like, he looks great. I'm like, let me tell you, I literally stare at this TV and the WABC logo the past 2 Sunday nights for 3 hours listening to him, because he's just so good at radio. It's just radio. It's not YouTube shit. He even said, it's like, I don't have to sit behind a desk an hour and a half straight. I get breaks. He's like, it's so good. It's so good. But like I was saying, like, so then I'd listen to his show on the way back. And by the time fucking that's done, it's fucking 6 o'clock. So if I could have eaten till 1 in the morning, I could have stopped eating. I've still got a 17-hour fast, which was always optimal for me under my belt. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. And that's why I think it's not that difficult. And in the back of your mind,
that's good. Look at that, Pete. That's a great idea. Like, look, I'm looking at the calendar right now. So today's the 11th, and you want to start the 25th, right? Friday?
Stop. Wait. No. You with dates. I got to be specific
The last Friday of April is the 25th.
last last Friday of April is the 20. No, I don't want to start the 25th. I want to start the 26th. Saturday, I'll eat dinner, and then I don't eat again until dinner Tuesday night.
All right, well, listen to me. So that is fucking 14, 15 days. So think about building. So you just don't eat for whatever and build up an hour a day. Like, I don't even think you have to start with 2 hours, Pete. I think you could go 3 hours without eating.
Gee,
So
I'm doing 16-8 now. I've been doing 16-8 fasting for almost 2 months now.
hey, let's not yell at me, Pete. Hey,
I'm going to roll into this thing. That's why I think it's, going to be not that difficult.
all right then. Well, look, I'm just trying to give you the fucking John Doe fucking stratagem, Pete.
No, I like the strategy, and it makes sense. And that's sort of what I was saying about when I didn't eat at noon that day.
10 and a half hours after his dentist appointment. What time's his dentist appointment, Pete?
2:30. As all that.
I love Fridays. Listen to John Doe. I love him. Yeah, build your own incremental paradigm. Who is this guy? We're going to get banned for your talk like that. So they banned me for being too good a player.
But that was my point to what John Doe's saying. I'm doing the 16-8, but sometimes I don't eat for 17 hours or 18. And what I found was when I didn't eat for 18 hours, it wasn't like I was starving to eat. I ate because if I don't eat now, I don't want to back it up later in the night. So I ate like at 2 in the afternoon and then at 6 at night. So that's all.
And then we'll end it. You know what we'll end it with, Pete? We'll end it with possum flavored candy canes.
We will not end it with possum flavored
That's
candy.
what we'll do. We'll just pop on and we'll have ourselves a possum flavored candy cane. I think that's the move. There you
The
go.
hardest thing of that will be softball on the 27th. Although Mongo will be in on it with us. Would be softball on the 27th and not having a few pops at the softball game.
They have mac and cheese. Oh God, I gotta look at this. They have mac and cheese candy canes.
No.
What do you think Bigfoot candy canes taste like? Bigfoot loves Christmas. His cousin the Yeti is a professional friend. That's why they have a pump. They taste like a tree. All right. Well, what does the fucking possum one taste like?
I would assume possum. People actually eat possum. So
the candy tastes like a possum.
I'm assuming you could make it taste like possum because they eat it.
You'll love this. Look, Pete. Garbage-fed gourmet taste.
I'm not dealing with possum candy, Gene.
I'm just telling you. It tastes like a Max load. It does. It does. Waffles and ice cream is a gut buster at midnight. We should go out for food. We should go out for Mexican food. We should do our Lupitas tonight. Do you think Bigfoot's cousin? That's not a flavor, John. It's not a flavor.
Look at you people. By the way,
what's that, Pete?
I told you I was golfing the one day and I was having a cigar and I asked the guy if he wanted to have one. I'm like, yeah, my buddy Curtis John sent them to me, fan of the show. And the guy's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I do my brother's show once a week.
You have a show once a week, Peter. Let me tell you, fucking bonus loads is fucking.
And they were fascinated.
That is our show.
They were fascinated. And I'm like, what? This is what they're like. What are you talking about? And I said, could be anything. Could be anything.
Johnny Clare. If you ever wonder what happened to Johnny Clare, he just sits in Garrett and Steve's chat. Curtis John said it, and just whatever they write. Like you could be like, "Hey, tastes like a Max Loads." Gino Biscani is a maximum asshole. Is he taking? They're all loads. Sorry. I love Ant's show. Shout out to Red Apple Media. Gino's a bad apple. He would just write shit like that, and it's like, and fucking Curtis John loves like you broke him, dude. You absolutely fucking broke him. But again. I'm nice until I'm not.
He was
and
on
then
the
when I'm
show.
not nice, I say it's literally the Evan Rudes. Somebody stop me before I tell the truth, and that gets me in trouble. And Peter, I'm telling you, like I got to reach out to these guys, like fucking the ones that did fucking doesn't matter who, the ones that fucking did Live at Gotham, and they love me. They're like, the way you are live, blah blah blah. And I'm like I was talking to myself. I'm like, the reason I fell out of touch with these guys is because I kind of like stopped sending them the Gino's picks. And the reason I stopped doing that is because I started doing Gino's Sports Sheet. And Gino's Sports Sheet fucking, That was 5 nights a week, never missed one, blah, blah, blah. And I got in trouble because I couldn't shut up about, but I'll say it again. Like, and I really fleshed it out because I was realizing, I'm like, the reason I pushed back is they were like athletes, and this really fucking struck home when I was like, when our boy Ricky Henderson died. Athletes are trained from Pee Wee League through major leagues to listen to their coaches and their organization. They are taught to trust them. Peter, stop me at any time if I say something that isn't not just that's questionable, let alone fact. They're taught to trust them blindly. That's what they do. And then when they get to the major league level or the NCAA level, you're mandating a vaccine. You're telling them to get the vaccine. You're telling them it's healthy. They're believing you. And Peter, these athletes that look up to their managers and their associations like the MLB, the NCAA, the NFL, Peter, who looks up to these athletes, Peter?
Who's the general public?
Younger, more than older. So
Yeah.
you're killing, well, you're figuratively killing two birds with one stone, but you're literally killing and maiming hundreds of thousands of people by doing this, And what did I get for my trouble? Fucking axed. And then when you reach out to that guy and you're like, by the way, it's right about everything. I can't help you, buddy. I'm like, don't worry. Don't worry. St. Peter will say that to you at the pearly gates. I can't help you, you black-headed kike. I can't help you.
Is that what's going to happen?
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, Loads. Right?
Oh my! I have possum.
I believe I've had possum tacos on the farm many years ago.
I can't imagine. See, here's the thing: if you possum, how bad? What does it taste like? Chicken? Like how bad could possum be?
Ask our boy. What does it taste like?
I just don't feel like there's a lot of meat on the possum.
Oof! I'm gonna let that one go.
It's like eating squirrel. Like there's just not a lot there. I wouldn't think.
Remember that one time you were distracted, Pete, and we got under the blanket, and you're like, I said, I just don't feel like there's a lot of meat on the possum.
I don't remember that, you sickie.
Really? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
I think it is greasy.
Someone shot a dollar load at us. EK. Pete, when are we hitting the links, Max? Pick a course near AC so I can get my poker fix afterwards. Oh, fucking, why don't we fucking, we should line something up. Imagine me, you, him, and fucking Mosca. That'd
be great. I would, again, Gene, you can set it up. I'm retired.
Oh, Pete, I understand. I would have to have a job to retire from, though, for me to say something like that. You understand?
Yeah, and I'm just, you can say anything around me. I'm not a lunatic like him with the words where everything's filthy. He's the one with the problem that you can't say things around.
That's not, he's Jack.
Yeah, he's Jack.
I had to check to see who was on our boy today. He's got an actual comic on today. Look at him, Fred Stoller. Fred Stoller's great. He is old.
Fred Stoller? Is he the guy who was Banya?
No. Fred Stoller was on Seinfeld, and you'll remember this. Do you remember? God damn it, what is that? Do you remember the episode? I'm sure you do. Remember the guy that Elaine only went out with because we're not doing bone broth. Remember the guy Elaine went out with just because he couldn't remember her name?
No.
The weird guy?
No. I'm sorry.
This guy, look, I'll show you, but it doesn't even look like him. Look, it doesn't even look like him. Why don't I just Google Fred Stoller Seinfeld, and you'll remember the character.
Boy, the weather's just getting nicer and nicer. I can hear it raining even more.
There you go, Pete. You remember that?
Click on that. I think
when he goes, I didn't remember you. Well, that's too great.
Oh, from the party. From the party at the Drakes or whatever.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Fred.
Yeah, this is him not everything's got to fucking be difficult. Fucking everything's I don't know which two look alike. Are they the G's? Yeah, of course it gives me 2 G's.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Fred. Foot fell asleep. You're lucky. At least you got something to do.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. When I played clown on the King of Queens. All right, probably Fred Stoller. All right, there you go. So yeah, there you go. That's Fred.
Jaquan G should get those clubs out of the closet.
He was not the close talker. With Jaquan,
No. Can't have him collecting dust. Gene had a set of pings collecting dust, and he threw them in the garbage instead of letting me play with them.
I gave him to my friend Tom at the time. He used to work at fucking Angry Wade's. They all think I'm fucking Hitler now because they think Donald Trump, and I quote, I wouldn't have had to shut down the bar if Donald Trump hadn't let COVID into the country. That's when you're like, I can't help you. You cannot be helped.
You can't help him.
You cannot be helped. The second you say that.
There's no way. But by the way, yeah, the stuff that I've never seen, it's like if you just stop for 30 seconds and think about what's being told you and what's going on right now. I don't even know what these hands-off rallies were about. Like, I don't even know what these things.
They literally, they don't even know. Did you?
That's what I mean.
Anthony played a clip of it where they're like, "Yeah, what do you want Donald Trump to keep your hands off? Everything. He's a tyrant. Well, how's he a tyrant? You know, they don't know. Like basically the left is trying to convince people to get their hands off Peter, the Medicaid benefits they took away, which they didn't. You know, the left is terrified that they're being called out. Like, you're just wasting our money. People still don't get the tariffs. They're like, oh, Donald Trump is wishy-washy with the tariffs. Someone said it perfectly. He's playing hokey pokey with the tariffs on purpose. And I don't know if you saw this. I'm sure you did, Pete. But basically China outed themselves. It's like, all right, the tariffs are 120. The tariffs he put out, no one complained except China. My favorite is Mexico. They're the only ones who said nothing. They're like, yeah, that seems right. Yeah, we've been, yeah, that's fine. You know, and Europe's like threatening, but everyone else is like, everyone else either wanted to negotiate, you know, everyone else like asked for fucking more time. China's the only one that said, fuck you, we'll raise ours even more. And America's like, we got you.
Yeah. And it seems to me what's going on is people are coming to negotiate deals with the United States because
they think that's smart ass. Yeah. They want to negotiate. They're like, can we fix this now? And I love that. Explain this to me, or just elaborate on this. The clips of fucking Pelosi and Schumer ages ago being like, this isn't fair. Why don't we ever say, and now they've fucking just shut up on it because they're making so much money from fucking being a part of the fucking bureaucracy, the bureaucratic machine that takes our fucking taxes and just spits it into fucking NGOs.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty clear that Trump, he's, for lack of a better word, he recognizes we are the dominant economy in the world. That is our strength right now. Military, all that other stuff, that's nice, but people need money to live. And we buy everybody's stuff. We are a huge consumer economy. China needs to sell to us. They can't make their money selling to the rest of the world. And the point is, these other countries recognize that. So who would you rather have a trade deal with? The United States or China for these other countries? And the answer is going to be the United States. So how will China be anything but isolated? Who in their right mind? Maybe the Iranians are going to set up deals with China? Do you know what China is? I don't even know if other totalitarians want to set up their trade with China because they know China's going to screw them anyway.
Yeah.
And if the U.S. squeezes them on our, like, the stuff they rip us off with an intellectual property and everything, if they don't have that anymore, it's going to be even harder for them to do things.
I'm sorry, Peter, go. I apologize. Go on.
No, that's all. So I just don't see, if you're another country, you're like, all right, we can work a trade deal with the United States or we can work a trade deal with China. Who's least likely to rip us off? And if you believe it's China, that's fine. Good for you.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I mean, that's why I just don't see it. I see Trump using our strengths, which for whatever reason, these maniacs on the left, either they don't want to recognize how great the United States is and the power we have, or they're embarrassed by it, or they don't think we should use it to further ourselves. And I got no problem. I think we should invade Canada first, then maybe Mexico, because Mexico's playing ball. And, you know, down there's cartels and all that crap you'd have to deal with in occupying them. If you invade Canada, well, what they got? What are they going to do? You know what I mean? I think a lot of people in Canada want us to come up there so they become part of this country and have the Constitution, but I wouldn't make them a state right away. You'd have to occupy them for a while to make sure you get that. You just occupy them.
I know you're mostly joking, though, Loads.
What? Why?
We can't invade Canada.
Why?
Invade Mexico called Greater Texas.
Oh, now he's got a good point. The cartels might move to South America.
I love smart ass. Those dirty frostbacks. Oh, that gets a clang. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think you would get the least resistance from Canada. They have all sorts of crazy gun laws and stuff there, so it's not like here where everybody's armed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you just like, if we're going to invade one of them. But I'm against making them a state right away because I feel like they'd be another California and screw up the balance of power in Congress. However, if you get the SAVE Act through and you have legitimate elections, you know, I think that could right a lot of these problems. And I don't know if you saw it, Tulsi Gabbard, apparently, they're finding all this stuff now out about the Russiagate.
No.
And, all sorts of stuff's coming out.
Where? What?
You would have to, she was on with the guy who took over for Bongino, that guy Vince. And a lot of, I didn't even have a chance to read all of it today, but a lot of things are coming out that Russiagate, they absolutely were just going, it's all stuff we knew, that they were going after Trump. The FBI was involved. The dossier was fake. Like, all this shit's coming out now because the actual FBI paperwork's being released. The files are out. So it's not like you can lie about it. The last thing I saw, you know, Trump is apparently suing the New York Post for that, or the Pulitzer organization.
Suing the Post of all places?
I'm sorry, he's suing, I believe, the Pulitzer organization because the stories that won Pulitzers, he claims, were incorrect and lies about Russiagate and what was going on. And
wow, look at this. I'll share you what came up on the Google search. That's great, Pete, because look, can you see this? Is it big enough? I'll even make it bigger. Control plus. Look at this. First of all, Politico, and if you don't have a Politico subscription, that's on you. They were giving out $500,000 worth. 2024, he wins a round and libel suit. February, Trump personal defamation suit. Now let's go to Newsweek, February 14th. And of course, it's over there. Donald Trump wins right to sue Pulitzer Prize Board in Florida. Is that what we're looking at, Loads?
He's already right. They're letting the case go forward. Yes.
Look at
now they named the guy from the NSA, Rogers.
By the way, I got to interrupt. A spokesperson for the Pulitzer Board told Newsweek to put up a pop-up ad, that the lawsuit is about intimidation of the press and those who support it. And we will not be intimidated. I love when they say this shit that just gets shoved right back down their throat. Am I wrong to think this reminds me of fucking Stephanopoulos going like, well, of course we're going to fight it. We're going to win. Do you understand? It's like, I'll tell you what intimidation of the press is. It's when a guy like Jake Tapper sits there and fucking yells at someone saying, I feel bad for anyone that ever had a stutter that you're shitting on Joe Biden now. Am I wrong, Peter? That's intimidation of the press. Fucking Donald Trump going through legal fucking channels and saying, I think this is defamation. I'm going to sue you. I'm taking it to court. I don't think that's trying to intimidate someone. I think that's putting it out there saying, let's see what a jury of peers thinks. But I'll say it again. When fucking Jake Tapper, who's a piece of shit, says, I can't believe you're saying this about a guy with a stutter. That's intimidation. Am I wrong, Loads?
No, you're not. You're not wrong at all. And it's, so two things. One, the guy's name was Rogers. He was from the NSA, and he came out and said that apparently he told the newspaper that what they were writing was incorrect.
Say goodbye to Curtis, John.
Take it easy, Curtis. Have a great weekend.
You're a good man, Curtis. And by the way, Six attacked Keanu yesterday, and I gave her some of your treats.
By the way, I don't know the France.
She put her fangs into my
You were upset about something, and she came in. Whenever Keanu is like, I just don't care. The cat. Whenever she just sighs heavily, the cat's like, I got you, baby. And then a minute later bites at her.
She bit me.
Here we go.
She drew blood. With
I'm
her
turning the
face.
camera. I'm turning the
Gene,
camera.
Gene, you don't have to tell me. That's a nasty fucking animal. I don't even. She's a nasty animal. No,
So
you
what
don't
were you
have to get her.
saying?
Let Keanu get her. Then we'll see how great she is. At any rate, John Doe. Yeah, I maybe France and England would try some. Maybe France and Great Britain would try something if we went into Canada. But I almost feel like that'd be interesting to see. Or if they've been so totally deballed, they just be like, all right, what are we going to do? We got to let it go. It would be interesting to see. And I do get what you're saying. Yes, in Mexico, you could take it segment by segment. That is true. I can't disagree with that. If you go a little bit at a time. Yeah, Gene, with you, when you put that cat with anybody else, you're scratching their eyes out.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's not a good cat.
Don't say that to your niece.
Gene, that is unbelievable. See that?
Look.
Okay. She looks like a hostage. There you go. There you go. Yeah, look. You can't hide it.
See what happens?
Don't.
Oh, Keanu, you don't have to tell me. I'm waiting for her to take one of Keanu's fingers.
I just want you to love me.
She does.
Maybe your cat could do the. Maybe that fat cat could do the water. Holy shit! Maybe that cat could do the water fast with us. She can use the lose like pounds.
Yeah.
Poor little angel.
Water for a fast.
He.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna get me.
Get her 6. Get her 6.
I don't think you have to tell her get her 6. That's 6 natural instinct.
Look at Curtis. He's like, I'm trying to leave. Love Curtis. Guess who's getting a treat, 6? Look at her. Poor angel. Poor angel. My poor little gato.
Your poor little gato. Nasty mal gato.
Malo, gato malo.
Let's see what we're. I don't even want to look at the Myrtle Beach weather. Because
Damn, I got pulled into a conference call. You didn't miss anything. I love you, Cal Patty. So I missed the hilarity. Hope Gino isn't mad anymore. 6 is a good pussy who just doesn't like lefty chicks.
Okay, yes.
Myrtle
Yes,
Beach,
conservative cat.
Myrtle Beach is going to be beautiful.
Dirty Myrtle.
So I'm not sure. I'll see how it is. Next Friday's supposed to be 68 and sunny. So I don't know if I'll be doing this show or I'll be golfing.
You'd have 2 cats.
Oh, great. And it would end up liking you.
No, baby. Everyone
Don't get a cat like Keanu. She's a normal person. She wants a dog.
We're not getting a dog in this apartment, Pedro.
Right. That's why you're moving out of that apartment when your whatever is up, and then you can go somewhere and get a dog.
I said, let's move to South Carolina so we can have a dog.
No, you know why you're moving to South Carolina? Because it's not New York. It's a great place to live. That's why you're moving there.
Peter, you see, look, I got a parking ticket yesterday. You ready for this?
I'm not ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, because everyone in this town sucks a giant dick staying there. Literally, Peter, I lived on this street 7 years. 6 years, forgive me. And fucking the past, the years 3 through fucking 5, fucking I had no parking. They were tearing down a church and putting up a school. That school's been there a year. Yesterday, I do what I've been doing for a year. I fucking double park like countless other cars. I'm like, yeah, that's a school. I'm looking at it and get towed or booted. Well, towed. They wouldn't boot me because they want to. And they're like, yeah, it's a $115 ticket. You parked in a school zone. Oh, I can't wait to fight this. I'm gonna sit in the car next street cleaning and wait for Officer Y Ortiz. The Y stands for Yigger. I can't wait for him to walk by and be like, why did I get a ticket?
I don't think that's his name.
Fucking.
By the way,
And Peter, I guarantee, like I got a ticket a month ago. It's like, yeah, you invalid fucking registration. And I had valid registration. I sent him a picture. They're like, oh, okay, you're fine. It's like they just give out tickets saying like, because they want people to be like, oh, fuck it. Like that speeding ticket I talked about when we used to do a hockey show 8 years ago. And it's like, yeah, you got photographed. It's $50. And you look at the 50, you're like, I can pay 50. If it's 60, I'm fighting it. You know what I mean, Pete? And Steve laughed. He's like, yeah, I get them every other month. I'm like, yeah.
One of the cars in my fleet in this family got a ticket both going to and leaving your wedding. So I had 2 tickets
like
to pay.
on a camera?
Yes, both on a camera. And I'm like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's in that miserable area in Northern Virginia, Washington. By the way, I'm Jesse James. Does Mike Pompeo have AIDS? Maybe it's Ozempic. I'm wondering now if they're trying to poison Pompeo because he's apparently a little on the dirty side, maybe. He's the one who didn't want Trump to release all the JFK files. Trump clearly said he's not going to be part of my new administration. So I'm wondering.
By the way, look at this, Pete. Smartass says you don't do cinema in New York anymore. Why not move? Oh, yeah, look at this. Fucking this Saturday, tomorrow night, Gina Biscotti with Leonard Oots, Dante Nero, and Russ Jenkins. That's me. That's Gina Bisconti. It's good stuff.
Why don't you go down? You could do the Club Cabana down there.
That's a very clean club. I could do, yeah.
Oh, never mind. You can maybe start your own comedy club.
Whatever. Can't be bothered.
I don't know what you do. Maybe you could definitely do this from down there. And maybe you bring in the comics from the Cabana or whatever local comedy clubs are to do your show.
Oh, I don't.
Behind it, like they could sit next to you, like Whiskey Wednesday.
I don't know. I don't worry about it. It takes care of itself.
I agree with you. And look, clearly I'm not leaving. Clearly I'm staying here.
You're locked and loaded, buddy.
Which I'm not thrilled about, but I'm hoping that we get a new governor who gets stuff, figures some stuff out.
Oh my God! By the way, I went to Facebook. I just went on Facebook because I wanted to find the show I'm doing in Vineland, and in my alerts, Keanu, the Asian chick that stole your account, her birthday is today.
Oh, it's great.
So funny. Nguyen Gok Yebao and 10 others have birthdays today.
Hey, Gene? What is the name of the club you're doing? It's not.
Where?
Is it in Vineland? Is it Casey Ray's? What is it? It's a new club.
It's the land. It's right around. I think it's the old Casey Ray's location.
It is. If it's next door to Landis Theater, it's Casey Ray's. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah. Hold on. I have Jimmy Graham messages. That's what I was doing. Jimmy here. No, come on. There it is. Jimmy Graham. Is that it? Chat. Yeah. The 802 East. Does this make sense? Look at this. Share this tab instead. Boom, boom, boom. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 803. Yes. 830 East. That's 830 East Avenue. Yeah. Yes, it's right on the corner there. It makes sense. They just changed the name.
Yeah.
Its name is its address.
Ultimate Karaoke on Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Formerly Casey Ray's. That's easy enough. Can't be clear.
Yeah. Yes.
How about this one? Jimmy Graham's Comedy Roost presents a prodigal cock's son turning home to roost. That's me. That's Keanu at Rodney's. I took that.
Is that what they're calling it? Jimmy Graham's Comedy
Roost. I guess so. Saturday, May 10th, 2025. East Landis. Spread the word. Got some people coming out. Gonna be a goddamn party. I think. I feel. One can believe. All right, get Keanu Kitten, boom. All right, look at that. 2.5 hours. It flies the fuck by, Loads, does it not?
It does. This is a very fun part of my week. I look forward to this.
Oh, I love Peter, me too. She'll tell you. Keanu will tell you. I look forward to the Fridays every fucking week. It's a good fucking time.
And it's amazing. I feel like whenever we go down to Myrtle Beach, which is always either the week before or the week after Easter, a lot of stuff goes on in the country, in the news. Like the one year we were down there, it was when, oh my God, it was the big thing with the Constitution. Those rallies were the Tea Party. Tea Party was all over the place. That was going on. Several times the NCAA championship game was happening. When they shot that guy in the boat and Tom Hanks made the movie about it, that was going on when we were in Myrtle Beach. I just feel like a lot of stuff happens. Sadly, Harry Callis died when we were down there the one year.
I remember that.
Yeah, but it's like just a lot seems to happen. I feel like, again, they passed the bill in the House, and they're like, yeah, but now it'll take until we want the big, beautiful tax bill done by the end of May. I'm like, why should it take that long? You know what you want. Just write it out in simple sentences and pass it. Although I don't know how they're going to pass anything in the Senate. I really don't.
Why? I thought everything was red.
Gene, the Senate, you have to have 60 votes. That's a Senate rule.
Oh,
That
okay.
they
And
made
of
that
course I
rule
don't
up
know
for
that, Pete.
themselves.
Of course I don't.
You have to have 60 votes to get through the filibuster. And that's why the Dems wanted to get rid of the filibuster. But it didn't happen, which is a good thing probably. But I think I see the reason for the filibuster, but I think it just gums up the works. Like, if you can get something passed 51-49, it should pass. Like, there's a reason. That's why you shouldn't have the popular election of senators. Because if you're going to have the filibuster, you can't have the popular election of senators. That's a problem. I think he assigned too many House members to his cabinet because the senators.
House members, as opposed to that guy that did the 25-minute filibusters, a House. Never mind. By the way, look at it. Look at all the comedy.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. It's not written in stone. That's like a rule the Senate made up for themselves that they follow, the 60-vote thing. It's in the Constitution. I'm pretty sure if you read it, it's a simple majority to pass something in the Senate. But I guess it has to get through filibuster to get on the floor to get voted on. That's the issue. And they don't want to get rid of the filibuster. I agree. Hey, that's why I'm trying to stay healthy now. I'm telling you, if Kamala had won, there'd be no water fast. I'd just be eating 24 hours a day because I have nothing. It was terrible living under that. Every day was another crazy effing thing going down. Now,
did you see last week?
I want to see what happens. Every day I put on the TV and Trump's doing something else great. And there's more sensical stuff happening. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens now. That's why I'm trying to get healthy or stay healthy.
Healthier.
Yeah. And the nuclear option, I get it. But my thing is, I know that the Democrats will again be in charge one day. And that's what happened with the Supreme Court. Goofy Harry Reid got rid of the 60 vote to pass a Supreme Court justice. Because he's like, and I'm like, don't you realize Republicans will be in one day? And the Republicans got in, and they got these justices on, as it should be, by the way, with just the popular vote.
Amy Coney Barrett turning on Trump? How about Amy Coney Barrett turning on just because you were filibustering, Peter? How about Amy Coney Barrett turning on Trump a little bit? Thank you. I couldn't think of Cory Booker. I was thinking of 2 G's instead of 2 O's. Sorry. Go on, Pete. What do you think of Coney Barrett?
Cory Booker's a disgrace. I think everybody recognizes his goofy 25-hour filibuster. I happened to watch the end of that. Gee, there's nothing to say about him. I got nothing to say because he is what he is. If you watch him, if you listen to him, you know what he is, and he's a disgrace. I don't know. Here's the thing. If you notice, the Supreme Court justices who are nominated by Democratic presidents 99% of the time vote as a block. They never switch. They all vote the same way. The justices nominated by a Republican, they sometimes switch. Roberts, Coney Barrett, even the other guy, starts with a K, Kavanaugh, even though they went after him.
Right.
They sometimes switch.
They actually worry about the letter of the law more than just fucking towing the party line.
Right. And it's so obvious that that's the case. So maybe, like Coney Barrett, I forget, I know that she voted with the 3 liberals who also have to be women, so it looked like 4 women voting that way. Right. But if her vote was because she believes that the court shouldn't be making these emergency decisions and this case should go through the proper channels and go through the system, I don't know that I'm okay with that because at least she's voting based on something real that she believes. You know what I mean? She flat out may not have thought this should even be at the Supreme Court because it didn't go through the proper appellate courts and all that, that's fine if that's how she wants to be. The problem with that is some issues need to go immediately to the Supreme Court. And this would be one of them because to me, this is not an issue it's not a local issue where it's within a state. This is between the federal government and the state. And those things go directly, they're the court of original jurisdiction, the Supreme Court. When there's an issue between two states, it goes directly to the Supreme Court. I don't know why like in Texas, they didn't come out and say, oh yeah, we're following this executive order about birthright citizenship. We don't believe the 14th Amendment grants you birthright citizenship. So then you'd have one court system saying we agree with it. You'd have another one saying we don't. That is an issue that goes directly to the Supreme Court. You would get it there in a hurry. You know what I mean? When the dispute is between two states, the U.S. Supreme Court is original jurisdiction. It doesn't. I don't know where they get that case that the AG Paxton from Texas, when they brought that case about the election, which apparently shit's all coming about that too, and the Supreme Court didn't hear it. Alito and my boy Clarence Thomas were like, we should have at least heard it. We should have at least given it some due process because it's between states. And they said they don't have standing. So I find it interesting. So I feel like at least when a justice nominated by a Republican sides with the more liberal wing of the court and they write their rationale down, it makes sense. Whereas Sotomayor, I've listened to these Supreme Court arguments and the questions they ask. Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson,
they're idiots.
Oh my God, I'm not
Peter. Like it's like they leave the Supreme Court and then just go sit in a fucking, I don't know, like a soundproof chamber. She's the one that said hundreds of thousands of children are in the ICU with COVID. Sotomayor, that's insane. Like the second someone says that, it's like, how uneducated are you? And you're making decisions based on that. Just flat out, it's misinformation's an understatement.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. It's a pendulum. How do you want to do it? One power, then the other gets a power. What's the solution? The solution, I think John Doe would clearly agree, is following the Constitution and letting the processes play out. Like tariffs, for example. Tariffs are under the power of Congress, except for conditions. I can't even remember the conditions, but Congress said, "I held it. We just let the president do it, so we don't have to."
It's too much. It's too buku, Joe. Okay. All right, it's been 2.5 hours. Look, let's dumb it down and show you how dumb the left is getting. Okay, can we do that, big brother?
Sure.
Did you see this? Do you know who this guy is? Watch this. I saw this today, and I was losing my mind. Hold on, we'll get to it. Unmute.
Have to grapple with it.
Do you know who this guy is?
He is a professor at Princeton. Okay. This is what kids.
You go, Peter. What?
This guy, Eddie Glaude, is a professor at Princeton, which means the best and the brightest that we send to school supposedly get taught by this guy. And this is what he's teaching them. Let it play. Because this is insane.
My I could better. Here we go. Listen to this.
Because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty, who's more interested in retribution.
Who were you loyal to?
Who's more interested in grift than in democracy.
He's destroying grift and Doge with Doge with Elon Musk.
Democracy.
Just listen to the way.
And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman.
So don't pause it there and scream something that I shouldn't say. Peter, and look at how he says it. Like this is what gets me. And if I can add, because you set it up perfectly, I'm sorry, I can't fucking just let it play. He says it so condescendingly.
Yeah.
Like, you understand?
And John,
God forgive me for saying that to you, Peter.
No, John, no reason to apologize. I think we're all on the same page.
So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves in this position.
And the diatribe didn't.
What
So-
position? Okay, and I'm going to say this. First of all, I was saying this with Anthony yesterday. It went from like when fucking Biden was the puppet in office, watching when people would talk like that, I'd lose my mind. But now when a guy talks like that with Trump in office, you love it. You're like, you're such a stupid idiot liar. Like, can you, Peter? I think, look, we both voted for Trump, but I think if someone came up to me and like, you know, in late October, early November, be like, I'm not voting for Kamala. She's black and she's a woman. I'd be like, that's why you're not voting for her. Well, you're a racist and you're a misogynist and even you're the dumbest person alive.
Right.
Because if that's why you said you weren't voting for Kamala Harris, then I could believe it because you're so stupid, you would be a racist and a misogynist. But no one thinks that. And let me reiterate what you said, teaching at Princeton. And if you don't understand how people are becoming indoctrinated, fucking people are taught to listen to their fucking teachers. And this guy is an idiot. He's an arrogant, entitled idiot.
And you're at Princeton. You're prestigious school. Why would you think, hey, my professor is telling me a load of crap? You're paying a lot of money. It was hard to get in. You're not going to think that unless hopefully you're, and let's face it, I think at this point, if you're going to Princeton, you know what you're going for. And I think the few who are conservative who go there are just going there to, you know, because it's Princeton and they're going to play the game and have Princeton on their resume and then make a life for themselves. But again, like you said, that's not the reason. And when he says 78 million people have to grapple with they couldn't vote for a black woman, that's black women who voted for Trump, black men, everybody.
Every demographic went up. He got more votes in this election in every demographic. Did he not, Peter?
Yeah. The only people, like I said earlier, the only people the left has now, and are college-educated women. I would go so far as college-educated women under 40. That's right. Or under 45. Seriously.
But no one is watching. And by the way, that, of course, was on MSNBC. No one is watching that.
That's true, too.
You know, like
again,
we all know that.
We've talked about this. I really think The View, MSNBC, CNN, and probably Fox, they're all creating content for each other's shows.
Yeah.
Whereas Newsmax is trying to be a news organization at this point. The other ones, I mean, I would say, and you could say it's because of how I look at things, but I watch them all. When I get on that treadmill, I'm flipping. So I watch it all, and I see what's being said. And if you watch honestly, Fox is when you compare Fox, CNN, and MSNBC, Fox absolutely comes off as the most legitimate, and CNN and MSNBC is the least legitimate. And CNN has some moments where there's moments of clarity on there. So like they're trying. I do feel like they're trying, but it just ain't working. And
By the way, what happened with your Newsmax stock?
It can't stay that high forever. We'll see where it goes.
Did you see? But it's at an all-time, Peter. It went from $83 to $233.
What's it at now?
What do you think it's at?
15.
It's at $22.85.
Okay, it's still up from what it opened at. It's up
Peter,
almost.
No, it opened at 83. I thought.
No, it opened at like 14 and it went up to 83.
Oh, so you're saying it ended its first day at 83?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, big brother. All right, I got that.
I believe. By the way, Texan Patrick P. I was in K-12 education for 30 years.
That's why I put that up there. Yeah.
Oh, what I saw, and that's why it's one of the reasons I retired.
All right, Pete. They're telling me we have to go 2:45. Come on.
All right. If we gotta go, we gotta go. I'll see what I can do next week from Myrtle, Gene. I don't know if I'll be on or not. So.
Oh, Pete, no worries. Haven't you done enough? By the way, just reminding you, come see me and Keanu. By the way, I did it wrong order. The 18th of April. That picture's so bad. Me, Keanu, and Rich Carucci, who will be here Tuesday. Oh, I told Mary, that crazy Mary Jane girl, to come Tuesday. We'll reschedule her. Rich will be here Tuesday. We'll be at a little place called Silver Lake. He's putting us up in a nice little Airbnb that night, baby. She's not listening. Forget it. I'll tell you later. Then Saturday, I'm leading something. Comedy night, I forget where. Klecknerville's Volunteer Fire Company. And then a week later, where is it? Look, this is just a Springbrook Fire Company. I love it. But all of these shows are with Carucci, so I'm so fucking pumped for those. There you go. All right.
I will be appearing at golf courses all over Myrtle Beach, I hope, next week. That's my goal.
The internet has had it, and Gino has to leave now. Yeah, come on, guys. Well, here's why. And I'll tell you, like,
I could go another 50
people, God bless you. I can't thank you enough, but I don't want people to be like, I don't want people going like, 2 hours 45, that's too long. This is such an informative show. You know what I mean?
Hey, I remember when Stern was good and he wanted to limit how much he was out there. That was his whole thing. People were like, wanted Stern to do everything. He's like, no, if you do everything, you're not, for lack of a better word, you're not special anymore. You know what I mean? If they could see you everywhere, every day, why the hell should they tune into any one thing?
Yeah, wait, what did Patrick P. just say through a buck to say 18th of April, remember I paid you to read Paul Revere's Ride, Gino. All right, we'll read it.
18th,
right.
What day is that? Is that a Friday? It's a Saturday, isn't it?
It's a week from today, Peter.
Oh.
11 and 7 is 18. By the way, I don't know if you saw this right underneath.
Don't start with the math. Don't start with
load streams for days at a time. What? No, don't. Don't do that.
Don't start with the math like something. I had to deal with that already once today.
Sorry, loads. All right, look, that is bonus loads for Friday, April 11th.
And the camera and mic worked well?
What's that? Camera and mic were great. And the lighting's fine too. You work on it.
Don't worry. I'll get a light. But I'm not going.
I didn't even realize you had a new camera or mic. That's how good it is.
It's Nick's camera, the Logi, whatever. It's supposedly one of the best ones for this. We got it for Nick.
It's what I'm using.
And it's a blue bulb mic, which I didn't realize. I thought it was from this country, but it's Chinese. But it seems to be all right.
Chinese.
So I'll have all this in the bag when I go down to South Carolina.
Don't worry about it. If you can do it, Pete, great. If not, no worries. We give them a shit ton. By the way, I want to thank all the super chatters. Look at this. I love man-ass, fucking Tosca. Of course, our boy fucking Gobble Gobble went nuts. Bob Vanna Patrizzle. Fucking Texan Cow Patty. All the good guys. And by the way, fucking for dropping by, our girl Mindy Lee, 3785. My lucky number at fucking Antonio Gates. Fucking helmet. So funny. All right, that is the fucking bonus loads for Friday. All right, loads. What are you up to tonight?
Getting ready. We're leaving 5 o'clock in the morning for Myrtle Beach. Hopefully, the weather clears up a little bit.
Call from the road if you're bored. I'm sure I'll talk to you.
I'm just
Phillies Cardinals tonight. They fucking lost to their stupid Braves.
But here you go, Gene. I'll throw it out there. Here's a gimme for you. Here's a gimme for you, Gene. Tonight I'm just packing for the trip. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Well, better get done fast so you can fucking do the suitcases. I got too excited. You
swung through.
Oh wait. Oh, do it again. I got it. Come on.
All I'm doing tonight is packing for the trip.
I thought you'd save that for the vacation once you got there.
No.
Nah, you're right. Well, you can't just. All right, that's the show. Dance us off, Frankie.